started the season getting some big wins, a couple of losses, learning a little bit about their rosters, and this is going to be an exciting matchup to watch here today at Holman Stadium.
No doubt about it. Nate Mazerow, the athletics coordinator for South, is down there making a couple of announcements, got some applause. I don't know what that's all about.
It sounds like the PA is not working, so he's down there doing it the old school style.
The old
like
school,
a little baseball old school style.
Yeah,
here.
Exactly. Shouting out, and I know it. These two teams right now, South came off a big win on Saturday where they beat Pinkerton Academy 6-2, and Bedford last year they knocked off Bishop Girton in the first round of the tournament. And, after what Bedford's done in baseball over the last few years, everybody expects a lot, I would imagine, from the Bulldogs. But they hit, and they hit some more.
They do, and, they're a team that continues to kind of every year they bring a lot of talent through. But, again, this is a younger lineup, and so far this year, again, they're still trying to find who they are as a team.
On the mound right now for Nashua South, Grant McCoubry has got he's had an interesting season. Now, you just saw a couple of things there. He's 1-1 with that strike, and McCoubry has had control issues. He is a sophomore, and Jason, the way that they are doing things now, he's already committed to Vanderbilt.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not know that.
Yes.
That's incredible, and you can see right away he's got a very lively fastball. And
he does, and the problem that he's had is control. I mean, they've started him a few times. I'm surprised he's out there today starting. I thought that they were going to try to get him right and out of the bullpen after he had struggled.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things with these players that that the talent that you have, but early in the season, a lot of times, sometimes it's weather. It's tough here in New England baseball to kind of get situated and get going. So you just know the players that have the talent, and eventually they're going to come through, and it sounds like McCoubry is one of those players.
All right, Jason, take it away with play-by-play. Dominic Tagliaferro is at the plate for Bedford leading off.
Yeah, leading off here in the top of the first inning, Bedford's Dominic Tagliaferro. It's a 1-2 count here, and that one is high and inside on that pitch, so a 2-2 count. Tagliaferro enters the game today hitting .300. He's been the leadoff hitter all the way through. He's got 1 home run. He's got 6 hits, 3 RBIs, and 4 walks so far. So if he gets on, there's a lot of speed on the base paths. Dominic is a very fast player. He'll be playing center field here today for the Bulldogs.
All of a sudden, you saw time called.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Chapman is talking to the umpire about something. I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah, not sure what. McCoubry was right in the middle of his motion. Kind of an odd time for Billy to call time. He saw something.
I'm not sure if maybe Tagliaferro called timeout. Or
I don't think so.
Oh, no, he's looking at the back line. Tagliaferro is pointing with his foot to the back line, so maybe he was out of the box, although he's inside that pretty easily there.
Yeah.
So here's the 2-2 pitch, though, from McCoubry, and Dominic Tagliaferro hits that one down the right field line, and that one is going to chase foul and out of play.
Yeah, a lot of, I don't know if you've been here to see any games at all, a lot of balls that go down in right field, they look catchable right away, and then all of a sudden they fade away into the concrete.
And that pitch is a strikeout, so Dominic chases the high fastball following that play, and this is my first time calling a game here at historic Holman Stadium, so I've watched plenty of games here, but being up at this perspective, there's not much better.
Yeah, no, it's a great spot.
Second batter for Bedford today will be Aiden O'Connell. He pitched yesterday in that loss to Portsmouth, and but the bat is hot, and that ball is driven out to right field and hits the wall in the air. Aiden O'Connell's got a lot of speed coming in the second, maybe going to get 3, going to 3, and that will be a triple for Aiden O'Connell.
And not only that, he made it standing up.
Yeah, the stand-up triple, and he has a lot of speed. He'll be playing right field today. Again, he's the ace pitcher for this squad. He pitched yesterday, get the eventual no decision against Portsmouth, but 6 innings of pitched work yesterday, and he leads the Division I baseball in strikeouts coming into this game. So really an exciting player, and one to watch the rest of this game today. Hitting third, though, for Bedford will be sophomore Jack Hinton. He'll be playing today. Hinton comes into the game. And here's the pitch from McCoubry. The rest up there. Hinton comes in the game hitting .278 with 5 RBIs. So a good, powerful bat. Again, a sophomore, younger squad here for Bedford than traditionally fielded. And he's a special one to watch for years to come.
Yeah, but that's always got its pluses, too. We get young, enthusiastic players, but you also have a good future.
You certainly do. So hint down 0-2 quickly here to McCoubry. And that one's foul back. So go far by Bedford. So far in this game, they've been, making McCoubry work.
Yeah, McCoubry right now has been on point in terms of his control. I'm jinxing him, but he's been able to just basically stick with that fastball. He's going to sit on that after a while. Ooh, what a look at that.
Gets Hinton looking. That one looked to be a little bit low and inside, but Hinton goes down for the second out there. And that will bring up cleanup hitter Danny Black, Jr., number 9, also the starting quarterback for the Bedford State Championship football team. So
what a defense that team had.
That team was.
For those of you watching in Bedford, you must have loved watching that team play football, because if you like defense, because that defense was untouchable. I mean, you just couldn't. I mean, Londonderry managed those 2 touchdowns, but they didn't get anything after that quarter, right? They're shut out after the rest of the way, and Bedford just clamped down on them. That defense was something else.
Yeah, that defense was stout, no doubt about it, and the offense was good enough to win. So that's exactly what you're looking for. Defense usually wins championships. That's what they say. And
yeah, boy, you have a defense like that. I was secretly saying, boy, if they have a defense like that, they've got to be the favorite to win it.
They certainly are. Or they certainly were. So Danny Black now 1-2 count here from McCoubry. Sees two quick strikes and then gets a ball called there. So McCoubry delivers the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, hits Danny Black up in the helmet. So
yeah.
Danny gets hit by the pitch there, and
but that's the issue with McCoubry. The heat can just fly, anywhere.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell with that triple hit a first pitch fastball right out off the wall, and then after that, McCoubry again. Don't want to call it the broadcasting jinx there, but then he hits Danny Black right in the helmet.
Yeah, right, exactly.
First and third.
But he was while he was ahead in the count.
Right. Yeah, it was a 1-2 pitch. So first and third here for the Bulldogs, threatening early in the first inning. That brings up number 14, Connor Bergeron. And here's the pitch from McCoubry. That's going to be a ball outside.
The question is, do you want to run at first base? It's a fastball pitcher, so the ball's going to get there. He doesn't throw anything off speed yet. Yeah, so the ball's going to get there fairly quick.
It's been straight fastballs for sure. And again, Bedford, depending on how Bedford wants to play that, they may want to see what Caleb Rich's arm, that Caleb's doing the catching for Nashua today. They may want to test out his arm, but we'll see here how Coach Chapman wants to play this. Bergeron now up 1-0. Takes a pitch on the inside edge, called a strike, and backed him off the plate.
Well, that's the one thing. McCoubry is getting the inside strike right now. That's got to help him a little bit, right?
That will help him as a pitcher. As a pitcher that's going to Vanderbilt, I mean, he's somebody that can move the ball around and really thinks through these at-bats. So he's definitely going to do that. And Bergeron fouls one over to the right side out of play. So now it's, again, 1-2 count here to Bergeron. He'll be playing first base. He comes into this game hitting .300, 3 hits and 1 RBI on the season so far.
School vacation week baseball, 10 in the morning. There goes the runner. Didn't matter.
That ball, that Connor Bergeron gets rung up looking there, and that pitch looked low and out. But again, if he's gonna get that type of plate coverage, that's how these teams will continue to adjust, and these hitters will adjust.
Well, that's just it. You've got to adjust not only to the pitcher but to the umpire, and now the umpire has given the inside corner and he's given the low inside corner. So both teams will have to make that adjustment.
That's correct. So we head to the bottom of the second now. We'll take a look at the Bedford lineup on defense, and then we'll start going through the Nashua lineup here. But on the mound for Bedford, pitching will be Patrick Foulis, and doing the catching, his battery mate will be Henry Dubois, freshman Henry Dubois. And then from the defensive side of the rest of the defensive side for Bedford, Jack Hinton will be playing third base, Carter Crowley over at shortstop, Jake Oster will be playing second base, and Connor Bergeron, who just struck out there, will be playing first base. Out in left field, Danny Black, Dominic Tagliaferro taking center field. Again, big, vast center field here with his speed. That'll be good for this Bedford team. And then Aiden O'Connell, the right fielder, will be playing right field tonight. That was the player that hit the ball to right field off the wall in the first inning. And the sun all of a sudden emerges from the clouds. That
could be a factor in the outfield a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's just great to see the sun here. We've been seeing a lot of these games early in the year. It's been cold. It's been rainy. To get a game at historic Holman Stadium here with this type of weather, it's kind of a special
has
day.
not been a great April, that's for sure.
It has not. So,
no.
Patrick Foulis on the mound will be facing Nashua's the top 3 hitters. There will be Devin Sawyer, Casey Tanaka, and Dean Adams. So that'll be the leadoff, the first 3 here for the Nashua South Panthers. And looking forward to this matchup here, this pitching matchup. Now that again, seeing Grant McCoubry after that first inning, that's a special pitcher, and this Bedford team continues to see the really good pitchers of each of these programs around the state so far this year. Devin Sawyer just getting ready to step in. Henry Dubois, Patrick Foulis going over a little bit of their game plan, and they look to be ready to throw their first pitch of the day. Devin Sawyer steps in. That first pitch is a high fastball from Foulis. Foulis features a few different pitches, definitely a fastball, definitely some off-speed work, and it'll be interesting to see how he works through this lineup here. That ball is fouled off. Good cut there by Devin Sawyer. Don't have the statistics here for the Nashua South Panthers. If I can get those, we'll definitely continue to talk through them. But one thing that is for sure, this is a very senior-heavy roster. It
is a senior-heavy roster, but it's missing the big guns that it had a year ago.
Okay.
So those big guns were I mean, it was probably the best South team I've seen, on paper since their championship team in 2005, 2006. I think it was it's actually 2005 on paper. But all it takes is one game to lose. Oh, look at that cue shot.
Oh, yeah, that was a spinner right there that just ate up Connor Bergeron over at first base, and he's going to be there on an error, but that was definitely a hard hit ball that had some spin.
They started out the year really needing to stabilize their pitching because they were, losing games, giving up double figures in runs. Started out 0-3. Then they finally beat Concord 11-5 last Friday, and then came away with that big win against Pinkerton where they were down 2-0, tied the game, and then Pinkerton went to its bullpen, and South went to work hitting.
And that's what it looks like. I mean, they definitely, they started the season with 3 losses to Goffstown, Exeter, Trinity, and then with those 2 wins you're talking about, Concord and Pinkerton. Right. Those are, that's just a team that continues to kind of find themselves, and they're 2-3 coming into this, but definitely have a loaded roster.
Talking to Jimmy Guy, he said that he follows the mantra of former Alvern coach Mike Lee, who was always a big rival of his. You play for May.
That's right.
You get your team in shape and get them in play for May, as long as you're not going to end up with too much deficit in terms of losses. So if you're able to do it, tread water until May, and then make your hay. Right.
That's right. That's exactly right. This is what these teams are loading up for and getting ready for. And as you were talking there, Devin Sawyer just swiped second base. So 1-2 count to Tanaka, and Sawyer stands on second base in scoring position, and that pitch is taken for a ball. So now 2-2 count. No outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Early action here at Holman Stadium, a 10 a.m. game. Beautiful weather here, and it's just one of these special days for these 2 teams to face off. That ball's fouled off here by Tanaka. So good at bat here for Tanaka. Again, runner in scoring position is Devin Sawyer after he reaches on the error made by the first baseman for Bedford. And we continue here early in the first inning. See this Nashua South Panthers team for the first time for Bedford seeing each other, and that ball is hit again, foul. So it's an odd perspective, Tom. I've never been here in this spot, but all those balls look to be going in play, and then they're just fouled off.
They just slice away, right? Exactly.
Still learning kind of where you're watching from.
From my angle in the booth right down the hall, it's even worse going to right field because those balls look like they're tagged right on the line, and then they just drift over into the picnic area.
Yeah, it definitely plays with your eye a little bit. So
the big one is down that left field line, where the short picnic area is, the brick wall, the small wall. That's always been tough, even for umpires to judge.
Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely it's a picturesque field and a picturesque view. But when you sit here, it does play with your eyes a bit. So, full count here to Tanaka. No outs. Runner on second base is Devin Sawyer, and we look for that payoff pitch from Patrick Folis of Bedford. And here it is. Hey, he gets the strikeout on the outside.
Tanaka knew it. I think he's more frustrated with himself than he is with the umpire's call. He knew it as soon as it came. Tanaka had a big hit. He had an RBI triple for the go-ahead run in the game against Pinkerton, but that time gets caught with the bat on his shoulders.
That's what happens. And again, both of these pitchers thus far are getting that outside corner, and they'll continue to work that as long as the umpire will give it to them. So that brings up, with one out in the bottom of the first inning, that brings up number 17 Adams, playing third base today for the Nashua South Panthers. And Dean takes a first pitch ball there, so a 1-0 count, one out here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. And that ball is ripped up the middle and going to be a line drive single. It did look like Sawyer had to.
Sawyer had to freeze. He had to hesitate, because if that ball was caught, which it certainly looked like it was going to be for a second there until it rose, that he could have been doubled off. So he had to wait. Could not go off the crack of the bat. If he had, he'd be at home plate right now, and the Panthers would be up 1-0. As it is, it's first and third with one out.
Yeah, so first and third with one out, but yeah, he had to freeze. Line drive, that base runners are told to freeze, and he definitely froze, and that cost them from getting the RBI there for Adams. But now that brings up there the cleanup hitter, number 9, Isaiah Hedquist, and Isaiah is a senior here playing first base for the Panthers today.
I think if a jump had been timed right, it might have been able to come down with that ball.
Yeah, hard to tell if it was knuckling or it kind of off the bat. It looked a little odd, but it was a hard hit ball too. So that was definitely, Dean Adams wasn't up for very long, but no, he made use of his time there. So now Isaiah Hedquist quickly down 0-2. Runners on first and third here for the Panthers, threatening in the bottom of the first inning. And it looks like, okay.
Yeah, runner
Dean
goes.
Adams
He's going to go. They're going to concede the base because they don't want to create the rundown at home plate.
Yeah, that was a low pitch there from Foulis, and Henry Dubois did a good job of collecting that ball, but there was no play at second either way. Even if they had a first and third play on, there was no play there to be had. So 1-2 count, curveball on the inside edge.
Good pitch.
Hedquist just fouls it off, does a good job defensively of staying alive in this at bat.
And Hedquist got the South offense going the other day. He had an RBI double, hit it right at the base of the brick wall that we talked about out in left field.
Yeah, it's a big, vast field, that's for sure. So the 1-2 pitch, that outside, a little bit too far outside there, so it now makes it 2-2.
Now, it's tempting. You don't want to try to pitch the fastball to the middle of the order too much if you can go off speed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you want to, when you're up in the count, make sure you don't give too good a pitch and make him hit it. That ball's foul down the line.
Another good pitch, a curveball that hung a little bit.
That one got a little bit too much of the plate.
Yeah.
Again, you're kind of looking to get a little edge, and you're trying to pitch to the blacks, but of the plate. But you just cannot give too much of that plate away, and that one got away with that one, I think. So Hedquist now a 2-2 count, one out here, bottom of the first inning. Runners on second and third for the Panthers. That ball's down and away. So another good quality at bat here for this Panthers unit, really forcing Patrick Folis, the Bedford pitcher, to work hard in this first inning. So 3-2 count, payoff pitch coming. And he takes it. Boy, that's a tough take.
That's a tough take is right.
Tough take, and Hedquist heads to first base. But boy, oh boy, I'm not sure how he held back on swinging at that pitch. That was a good pitch there, and he didn't get rung up, and he's standing on first base. Now bases loaded for the 5-hitter of this Panthers.
The fact he didn't get rung up surprised me. I thought that would have had a little bit, don't know if that was low. From your angle, Jason, it looked like it was over the plate.
It was definitely over the plate. It had to be low, and it definitely had some break to it, so it was an off-speed pitch, and that's just what happens. So if you leave it in the umpire's hands either way as a hitter, you gotta take what happens, and in this case, Hedquist gets away with a walk. So 5-hitter Jake O'Connor steps to the plate, number 18, playing right field today for the Panthers. He takes a first pitch ball, and there's the second pitch, down again there. Looks like that off-speed pitch is just coming in a little bit low. Bases loaded here, bottom of the first inning, just one out. Panthers threatening. early in this game here against Patrick Folis. The batter is Jake O'Connor. Here's the pitch. That one's lined down the first base line and is foul.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boy, I tell you what, I took a quick look at that. I'm having the same trouble you had. I thought that ball was in.
Yeah, that looked like it. Boy, it was definitely looking to hit chalk and just missed. The umpire was right on the line there, called it foul right away. But from this angle, boy, I thought that was fair.
Yeah, quick look at that. You thought it was going to drop right in.
Nonetheless, O'Connor recollects his bat. It's a 2-1 count, and bases still loaded. One out here, bottom of the first, no score. But Nashua is definitely threatening here, and that ball is fouled off. So now a 2-2 count to O'Connor. Big out here for this Bedford Bulldogs squad. They're trying to you get any out at any base here just to kind of make sure they limit this damage. Here's O'Connor. Jake O'Connor, 2-2. Pitch from Foulis gets by.
Watch, you've got to be very careful. The ball bounces back. There are a lot. The road is. There could be a graveyard of a lot of headstones of runners who have been called out at home plate on plays like that.
Yeah, I mean, in most fields here, you definitely do not see that. The Bedford home field, SAU field, I mean, it's probably triple the distance between the home plate and the back fence there. And there's no bounce like that.
No, and a lot of ballparks, that ball is going to be way by. And it's going to be a run.
Easy run there, yeah. So the 3-2 pitch now, and that ball is inside. Yeah. So it's another walk given up here by Folis, and that is going to score the first run of the game for the Panthers. Devin Sawyer, who reached in his first at-bat as on the error, and that leads to a run.
Well, Folis is going to have to come in. He's going to have to trust his fastball a little bit more. He's going to need to do that because the off-speed pitch is just not getting where the umpire wants to ring it up. So he is going to have to at some point use that fastball to try to get by these hitters just like that. That should have been the pitch on 3-2 last at bat.
Yeah, that fastball in and under the hands there is exactly where he wants to live. If he can live there, you're right. He has to trust that pitch a little bit more.
He's got to.
There's the curveball. So now down quickly is Caleb Rich, the batter, his first at-bat of the game, wearing number 13 and doing the catching today, as we talked about during the top of the first inning here. And here's the 0-2 pitch, and Foulis way outside with that one. Again, just trying to maybe do a little bit too much out there. Just right now, just settle into this game. Bases are loaded. You've given up one run in the bottom of the first inning to this Panthers squad, but again, try to limit the damage of this first inning and get back into the flow of the game at the plate. So here comes that 1-2 pitch. And he swings on that curveball and gets him swinging for the second out. That's a big strikeout there for Foulis.
That is a big strikeout, and that's a pitch that the previous hitters were laying off of.
Exactly.
And not that time.
Not that time. And you see, again, maybe the top and bottom of the lineup a little bit different hitters, and that definitely he was not able to lay off that pitch. But if he does, it's probably ball 2. Nonetheless, 2 outs now in the bottom of the first inning, and that brings to the plate the DH for the game, senior number 11 Nathan Smith. Nathan steps up here with 2 outs, bases loaded, 1 run in for the Panthers here in the bottom of the first inning. That is the score, 1-0. Panthers lead the Bedford Bulldogs. And that's going to be a strike. So
that's another good pitch right there.
0-2 now quickly to the DH Smith, and Foulis maybe looking to settle in a little bit, right?
Well, that's just it. The one thing you don't want with a pitcher like Foulis, if you're south, is to let him get into a rhythm, and he's just found his. It looks like
there's strike.
And there
3.
It is. Yep.
So he gets all 3 outs in that inning. Foulis does by way of strikeout, and that will end the threat. 1 run scored on that one hit, 1 error by Bedford, and 3 strikeouts for the Bedford unit, and that will end in the first inning. The Panthers lead it 1-0.
1-0 South, but they leave the bases loaded. They were looking for more. Bedford had their chance. They had first and third, and did not score in the top of the first inning. So South scratches a run across.
And interesting enough, both pitchers, got all their outs by way of strikeout. So McCoubrey got 3 strikeouts in the first inning, and then Foulis gets all 3 of his outs by strikeout as well. So definitely seeing 2 pitchers that can get the strikeouts. It's going to be who can get those big hits and who makes more mistakes.
Jason, I will be right back. I've got a quick interview I need to do, and then I will be returned to the headset.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tom. So we head to here the top of the second inning here with Bedford coming up to the plate. It's going to be Maddox Muir, Jake Oster, and Henry Dubois coming to the plate. And that's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for this Bedford squad today. They'll be facing, once again, Grant McCoubry, who had a really good first inning pitch. He got all 3 outs by way of strikeout, but he did give up a triple to Aiden O'Connell and did hit Danny Black with a pitch, a fastball to the helmet there in the first inning. So again, no runs scored for Bedford, and the score right now heading into the top of the second inning is the Nashua Panthers, South Panthers, leading the Bedford Bulldogs 1-0. Maddox Muir steps to the plate, and we are ready for second inning action. Maddox Muir steps up with a 267 average this year so far, been DHing most of the year, and we'll see what he can do against Vanderbilt commit Grant McCoubry. And he takes a first pitch strike, and there's no doubt about it. This stuff is electric. And if I don't know about his control issues, but his stuff is electric so far today. And that is going to be a high pitch. So 1-1 count now to Muir. The Nashua defense, again, hasn't been challenged thus far yet today, but we'll continue to see how they progress through the game. If this Bedford team can catch up to some of these McCoubry fastballs, he definitely brings some velocity. I don't have a gun, or I don't know his velocity, but it certainly from here looks very fast. So he's going to ring up Maddox Muir on a low and inside pitch, and that is a tough strike. Looked like the catcher, Caleb Rich, caught that ball low and on the inside portion of the plate, but umpire rung him up, and that's going to be the 4th strikeout there for McCoubry. All 4 outs by way of strikeout thus far. Brings to the plate number 7, Jake Oster, playing second base today for Bedford. He's coming into the season hitting 200, takes a first pitch strike, and McCoubry right now is all around the plate and getting plenty of strikes. This kid is definitely another special pitcher here in the state of New Hampshire. That ball is low and outside. Caleb Rich not able to control it, but no runners on, so no damage done. So 1-1 count here. Top of the second inning. Panthers lead the Bulldogs 1-0, and Jake Oster lifts one down the third base line. It's definitely in foul territory. Tracking it is Adams. He is able to make the catch over in foul territory, gets the pop out of Oster, and that is the first out, not by way of strikeout today for both teams, but an out nonetheless, and Oster goes back to the bench. The second out of the inning. And that brings to the plate number 11 catcher today, Henry Dubois. And he'll take his cracks at McCoubry. And that ball is way outside. And as Tom King mentioned earlier, sometimes Grant McCoubry can get a little wild with some of these fastballs. And that one was way outside. But 1-0 count here to Dubois. 2 outs, top of the second inning. Panthers lead it 1-0. Watching today's action on Nashua ETV and BCTV simulcast. And Henry Dubois lifts another pop fly down the third baseline. McCoubry chasing it, but that one's going to get into the stands here at historic Holman Stadium. And it will be a 1-1 count to Dubois. Again, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Panthers lead it 1-0 over the Bulldogs. Dubois, a freshman on this team for Bedford. Again, a younger squad here for this Bedford Bulldogs team, but first game of the year hits a grand slam against Keene. So welcome to the NHIAA Division I baseball, hitting a grand slam in a big game, and a 1-0 game at that point against Keene. 2-1 the count here to Dubois. Dubois hits a hard ground ball into the shortstop third base hole, and that's going to be the first hit of the game for Bedford. A single by Henry Dubois. Hard ground ball it just hugged the ground, and not able to make the play over at shortstop was Ward to his backhand, and that leads to a single for this for this Bedford team. I'm sorry, I mentioned it was the first hit of the game, but I did forget Aiden O'Connell had a triple in that first inning. So Henry Dubois now on first base. Top of the second inning. That brings Carter Crowley, the shortstop of this Bedford team, to the plate for his first at-bat. Carter Crowley enters the game today hitting .333. Again, a sophomore on this team, playing shortstop. There was a pickoff attempt of Dubois. And first pitch now to Carter Crowley. He swings right through that fastball for strike 1. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs here. Top of the second inning. Panthers lead at 1-0 over the Bulldogs. Henry Dubois on first base after that single. Carter Crowley taking his swings here against pitcher Grant McCoubry, who has currently got 4 strikeouts of the 5 outs made in this game so far, 4 by way of strikeout. And Carter Crowley turns to bunt, fouls that back. Now 0-2 the count. Coach Chapman putting the bunt on there, maybe trying to catch the third baseman playing back. Third baseman Adams for the Panthers playing a little bit further back. Now he's up on the grass, although two strikes. Likely not going to bunt on this attempt. So 0-2 is the pitch, and here's the pitch. Hit hard on the ground over to Sawyer at second base. He flips to Hedquist, and that will end the top of the second inning. Bulldogs get 1 hit, no runs, and we'll head to the bottom of the second with the Panthers leading the Bedford Bulldogs 1-0. And the Bedford team takes the field now. Henry Dubois was on second base. Looks like Maggie Fox will be just warming up Patrick Foulis. So Henry Dubois putting the equipment back on. No changes here so far. Heading into the game, heading into the bottom of the second inning for the Bedford defense. Patrick Foulis takes the mound again, and again gave up that first run in the first inning. Just a hard hit, couple hard hit balls, a couple walks, and that's what happens when you walk a few players or you hit a batter. Those batters tend to get in. So 1-0 the score here. Nashua Panthers leading the Bedford Bulldogs, heading to the bottom of the second inning. Again, thank you to Nashua ETV and Bedford Community TV, BCTV, for covering today's game in simulcast fashion. I'm Jason Bergeron. Tom King will be back on the headset here soon. He's doing an in-game interview right now as well. So a lot of fun action here today at beautiful Holman Stadium on a probably the second best weather day of the year so far. I think we had that one day that was 80 degrees covering the Bedford baseball game, and this is the second best day I think I've seen weather-wise, and just a perfect day for baseball. Coming up the rest of the day here today, Bedford has a rare doubleheader. So after this game, this Bedford team will be traveling over to Londonderry for another away game and playing 2 games in the same day, facing off against 2 really solid teams, this Nashua South Panthers team and, of course, Londonderry 5-1 heading into the game today against Bedford. So tough day for the Bedford Bulldogs for sure. But back to action here in the bottom of the second inning. It brings to the plate Nicholas Shaw, the left fielder for the Nashua South Panthers. His first at-bats here today against pitcher Patrick Foulis of Bedford, and he's quickly up on the count 2-0. Patrick having a little control issues earlier in the game, but then settled in, or early in the first inning, settled in the second half of that inning. And coming back to the mound here, he's quickly down 3-0 now to Nicholas Shaw. Senior left fielder for this Nashua Panthers team, and hitting 8th in today's lineup. Takes a strike there, so 3-0 count, taking all the way. 3-1 now the count. Bottom of the second inning, Panthers lead at 1-0 here at Holman Stadium, and that pitch is inside, and Nicholas Shaw is going to have a leadoff walk, and I just talked a little bit about that. Leadoff walks, leadoff hit batters, usually those players come around to score. Bedford team is going to have to figure out a way to get through that. They did turn 2 double plays yesterday in the game against Portsmouth. The middle infield turned 2 really slick double plays, and that's always fun to watch. Again, tough stretch here for the Bulldogs. They played last night against Portsmouth. They played today at 10 here right now against Nashua South, and then they head over to Londonderry to play at 3 o'clock. So quite a difficult schedule. Rain situations and changes in schedule have really caused the schedule to be compressed and formidable for this Bulldog squad. Up at the plate right now is number 2, Hunter Ward, the shortstop for the Nashua South Panthers. It's a 1-1 count to Ward. Runner on first base is Nicholas Shaw after the leadoff walk. Oh, good pitch there. Curveball. Just had Hunter Ward guessing there, and he wasn't able to swing at all. So 1-2 count now, no outs, bottom of the second inning. Quick throw over there to almost get Shaw. Bergeron puts the tag on. That was a very, very close play at first base. Nonetheless, ball comes back to Foulis, and he does it again. quickly back. So they're keeping a good eye on Nicholas Shaw. I'm not sure of Nicholas Shaw's speed, but a lot of these players know each other. So you see that. Oh, a slow roller down to third base to Hinton. Hinton fires across the diamond. Bergeron is pulled off the bag by that throw. And it was a slow roller. Hinton made a good play just to get the ball over there, but that ball pulled the first baseman, Connor Bergeron, off the bag. And that will be the second runner of the inning now for Nashua. Runners on first and second with no outs. Again, Nashua quickly threatening in this game, and that brings back the top of the lineup for this South Panthers team.
And the best way, as I return to the booth, the best way is to put pressure on the pitcher. Make him throw pitches maybe he doesn't want to throw. And we'll see how that top of the order handles that as Nashua's got first and second and nobody out.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out. And Tom, welcome back. And this is just, it's an exciting game to watch because, right now, Nashua South is just getting the benefit of all these little plays. A slow roller, the strikeouts that they're getting. It's just right now, so far, Nashua South has got the edge on this Bedford Bulldogs team. So Patrick Foulis quickly turns back, and it's definitely it's going to be a fun one to watch kind of unfold. It depends on how long both of these pitchers can go, how deep in the lineup. And while you were away, I was talking about the schedule for this Bedford team. They played last night, they played right now, and then they play again today at 3:00 against Londonderry. So it's a tough, grueling schedule here with the pitching staff, especially with the pitching staff.
Yep.
So 2-1 count now to the leadoff hitter Devin Sawyer having his second at bat here in the second inning, and he hits a hard ball to Carter Crowley. No. That eats up Crowley. And
this infield, just teams come in here not knowing how it's going to hop, what the texture is and everything else. Hard ground balls this time of year at this infield eat up shortstops.
There's no doubt that this so far, this Bedford Bulldogs defense has been stout all season long. And again, we talked about they've turned some double plays this year that have been really slick, but so far there's been 2 errors this inning, 1 error in the first inning. That's unlike this Bedford Bulldogs defense.
Right.
So, that ball gets away, and that one's going to score.
Yep.
Okay.
It does. That time it does, because the ball bounced at an angle. He couldn't run straight back. It didn't come back to the dirt. It sat on that dirt area right by the base of the wall and didn't bounce back hard enough, and that allows the runner to score. Yeah. I don't even think a good throw would have had him.
No, I don't think a good throw had him at all. And Henry Dubois did a good job getting back there and making it as close as he possibly could. But that ball was an off-speed pitch. It got away and kind of was moving away from Henry Dubois. And to your point, it stayed right on the dirt there. It's not a fastball bouncing right back. No. So that's the read that these teams are going to have to, or at least the Bedford Bulldogs will have to adjust to. The Nashua South is used to playing in this field.
Definitely.
So that brings to the plate Tanaka, who is now up 2-0 on the count. That first pitch getting by Dubois, scoring Nicholas Shaw from third base. Runners on second and third. That pitch misses again, so 3-0. Hunter Ward reached on the error there over there at third base by Jack Hinton with the throw pulling Connor Bergeron, the first baseman, off the bag. And then the error by Carter Crowley down to shortstop is how Devin Sawyer reached in this inning. And
got to take advantage of mistakes.
Got to take advantage of mistakes for sure. And 3-1 count now to Tanaka. And, no outs here. Bottom of the second inning, the Panthers now lead it 2-0 over the Bulldogs. And Foulis trying to find the zone. He's struggling a bit with control right now.
All of a sudden, the rhythm that we saw him have at the end of the first inning is gone.
Yes.
Yep.
And he is a rhythm pitcher. When you see him working well, he's just right on that mound throwing the next pitch. And right now, it's just kind of methodically thinking through a lot of different things. So that can get any pitcher, any player into trouble when you start overthinking situations. So no outs here, bottom of the second inning. Bases once again loaded for this Nashua South Panthers team, and that brings to the plate Dean Adams, number 7, big left-handed batter playing third base today for this Panthers team. He hit a really solid single in the first inning, right up the middle, a line drive single, and then swiped second base, and he's already had himself a day, and we're only in the bottom of the second inning. He's going to see if he can add to it.
Well, Adams has been a hitter for this team for 2 years now. So he's got the lefty bat. compact swing, kind of a good build, and a good eye, and that's what South has been using. I mean, he was kind of like he was back away from the limelight of some of the other players that were on this team a year ago. Now it's basically his team, I think.
And it's always fun to see all these players progress through their through their senior years, and when they become that player as opposed to a player on the team, all these players have that moment and that opportunity, and it's great to hear that Dean Adams is taking advantage of that.
Right.
So 1-1 count here to Adams, and that ball is up and in, and he wasn't worried about wearing that pitch if he had to, so he just kind of turned away lightly,
right.
I would say. So no outs here in the bottom.
Me,
of the
I would have been
inning.
diving on the ground, Oh, don't do it.
Exactly. I would have been right there with you. So now a 3-1 count to Adams, and Foulis again just struggling to find that strike zone, and maybe again just trying to aim it a little bit too much here against some of these big Nashua South hitters. So bases loaded, no outs still in the bottom of the second inning. Adams going to see a 3-1 pitch, and there it is. He swings through that. That was a half-hearted swing. I think midway through the pitch, he decided he didn't want to swing.
That's a lefty-lefty swing, right?
It is.
They're trying to pick up the ball. That's where you're not sure where it's coming in, and that's where the indecision is.
And that one's going to be inside. So, actually, did that hit him?
It hit him.
Oh, okay. I had a tough angle from here, but
you got that right-hander coming in on the left-hander, and he's trying to look at it and see if it's going to break. That's the pitch before. This one, he knew was going to break, and he just stood still.
And yeah, he's just not afraid to take it. You don't show any emotion when you get hit by a pitch, and so a hit batter, and that's going to bring Bedford Bulldogs head coach Billy Chapman now out to the mound.
Now, I got hit with a lacrosse ball last week. I showed no emotion at all. I walked right away.
Right.
I've been in pain ever since.
Right. I'm not going to show anybody. I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
But...
I'm not going to say a word. No. You okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, no problem.
I'm good. Go to the car and just now I'm putting ice on it. I'm doing everything I can to just be able to walk the next day. So Billy Chapman now out. The entire Bedford defense.
He's going to make a change.
He's making a change. Yeah. So that's going to be the day here for Patrick Foulis, the starting pitcher, and coming to the mound is going to be Steele Lambert. He pitched just a little bit of work yesterday. I think he made 1 or 2 outs in the game. But Steele, number 12, he is a left-handed pitcher. Has a variety of pitches that he will feature, but again, it all comes down to control. Can he find the plate? Can he get that ball over the plate? And can he do it consistently? So we'll see what happens here after the warm-ups. But to give you a quick update, Nashua, now up 3-0. There's no outs in the bottom of the second inning. Patrick Foulis gave up 1 run in the first inning, and has given up 2 more runs here in the second inning to this Panthers team. And so far, Bedford has not been able to solve their starting pitcher, Grant McCubry, Nashua's.
Yeah, that would be. Boy, I'll tell you, if McCubry can find it, that with what he's got, with the ability to throw the way he does, that would be a big boost for this South team.
I mean, in some ways, as a pitcher, as a hitter, I should say, when you see a pitcher that struggles with control and he throws with that type of velocity, and already, he hit Danny Black right in the head. Yeah, so, as a hitter, it's a little nerve-wracking getting into the box against somebody like that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And for Bedford, though, they've got to keep that out of their minds and look for their pitches with McCubry. And if McCubry gets behind in the count, he's going to have to come in with that fastball, and that could make a difference. So we're getting ahead of ourselves now as Bedford goes to the bullpen. We do now have a left-hander on the mound for the Bulldogs as they trail in this game 3-0 with the bases loaded and nobody out for Nashua South here in the bottom of the second inning.
Oh, a check swing there. So first pitch. So Steele Lambert is the pitcher for Bedford Bulldogs now, and he replaces Patrick Foulis on the mound. And Isaiah Hedquist, the hitter, number 9 for this Nashua South team. Isaiah is the cleanup hitter. So in a situation with the bases loaded and no outs in the bottom of the second, you look to your cleanup hitter to do some damage here and maybe blow this game right open. Yep. And right now, he's down 0-2. But again, any of these hitters can do damage with just one pitch. So 0-2 pitch here from from Lambert. That's going to be high and outside. And again, you see a little bit different windup. Again, a lefty on the mound as opposed to a righty, but definitely a different windup and definitely a different delivery that these Nashua Panthers batters will have to adjust to.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what you also see. This is, that's Hedquist jumped on that, but got under it.
What a good track out there by Danny Black. I mean, he followed that all the way as far as he possibly could and almost had a play on that end.
Almost had a play as it landed right near that fence where the bullpen is. It protects the relievers down the other way, but it's a Thursday. This is an odd day for baseball. They usually don't play on Thursdays very often. That's when you see different pitchers.
That's right.
And that's what we're seeing today.
And here's Lambert with the 1-2 pitch, and that ball is a line down the left side, foul again.
I think it's safe to say Isaiah Hedquist isn't going to right field.
Yeah, no, he's definitely well ahead of these pitches.
He's definitely going to try to pull this ball.
He's making some adjustments mid at bat here against this new pitcher, Steele Lambert, for Bedford. And here again is the 1-2 pitch. That ball is fouled off, so a good quality at bat here again for the Panthers. They just continue to foul pitches off, and they continue to stay alive at the plate, and all of them have been a hard out so far for this Bulldogs team. So 1-2 count. Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 your score. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs. And that ball again fouled off. That's the fourth foul in a row here for the cleanup hitter, Isaiah Hedquist, who in the first inning walked and he had, I think it was a 7-pitch at bat there.
Yeah.
And now in the second inning, again, seeing another 6 or 7 pitch at bat already. And bases loaded, no outs still in the bottom of the second.
Oh, that's a good
strike
pitch.
3, yeah. So that pitch had some great movement and just caught the inside edge.
Yeah,
catches Hedquist.
Comes out of his hand. It looks like it's going to be on the outer part of the plate, maybe off the plate, and then all of a sudden it breaks inside. But it doesn't break over the plate. It breaks right in almost on the hands, and the batter cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, if he swings at that pitch, he either hits that right into the dirt, right foul, or he's going to strike out. So it's just, it's a tough pitch there. Brings up the 5-hitter for the Panthers. 1 out now in the bottom of the second inning. Jake O'Connor, the batter, he also walked in the first inning, and he takes a first pitch ball here. So bases still loaded for the Panthers. Steele Lambert gets the big strikeout. 1 out right now, though. Infield is drawn in, and Steele Lambert opted to maybe try a pickoff attempt there. Bergeron in on the grass, but that ball still went over because the lead was so large over at first base. Here's the 1-0 count, or 1-0 pitch. Down and in, so 2-0 now to Jake O'Connor, the hitter.
Well, you got a pitcher that doesn't have a whole ton of velocity. He's going to have to come in with a strike. So O'Connor's going to be sitting on this pitch.
He's sitting here on the 2-0 pitch, and there it is. And
boy.
Wow. If there's a time to swing, that's the one.
That's the one, yeah. No doubt about it, Jason. That's the pitch to take a swing at.
So he doesn't take a swing at, so he takes that pitch.
That's
2-1.
the kind of pitch you put in that gap that's in right center field.
Exactly. Oh, and this one he lines to left. So who are we, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
He lines that one to left over the third baseman's head. It's going to score 2 more runs for this Panthers team. The Bulldogs trying to get, so a single, and then the runners advance on the throw, but 2-run single there for Jake O'Connor, and he now stands on second base after the throw, and this Nashua Panthers team has opened up a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the second against the Bedford Bulldogs. Again, he took that next pitch and just lined it to left field.
Boy, he took the off-speed pitch, right?
Yeah.
And that was, I'll tell you what, that was a pitch you think would go on the right field. He took that on the outer half of the plate and pulled it.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do, and pulled it in the air on a rope.
Usually ill-advised to try to attempt that.
Right.
You usually pop it out to the first base.
Yeah, and he did it with just enough room along that foul line to get it in fair territory.
That's another curveball.
Right through the hole.
Right through the hole. The drawn-in infield, and it's going to score another run. That was batter Caleb Rich. Takes the first pitch and just hits a hard ground ball into the third base, the hole between third base and shortstop, and he stands on first base with an RBI single. Two quick singles here on new pitcher. Well, after the strikeout of Isaiah Hedquist, 2 quick singles on new pitcher Steele Lambert. Those by Jake O'Connor and Caleb Rich, both a 2-run single and then a 1-run single. And Nashua now leads it 6-0 here at Holman Stadium. First and third is the runners. Those runners, Jake O'Connor at third, Caleb Rich at first, and the batter, DH Nathan Smith, a strikeout victim of Patrick Foulis in the first inning. And he takes his second at-bats here. Still 1 out in the bottom of the second. 6-0 your score. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs. And the first pitch is a ball to Nathan Smith. This Bedford team just not able to figure out the pitching to start, but right now just not able to get outs of this Nashua South team.
Like I said, it's the odd day. You kind of hope your guys have it and can get you through the day. I don't know if Bedford plays tomorrow or not.
Well, they play this afternoon.
Do they really?
They're playing a doubleheader, an odd day here. Again, the way the schedule's worked out, they are playing Londonderry at 3 o'clock at Londonderry. That's not able to hold the ball there. It looked like Henry Dubois threw it quick enough there to catch Caleb Rich, but the ball not held onto by Carter Crowley.
Yep.
So a stolen base for Caleb Rich, and now second and third, 1 out. But yeah, the schedule has really been not good to this Bedford Bulldogs team. They play here today, right now, and then they'll be facing off against Londonderry at 3 o'clock. So
at Londonderry,
at Londonderry,
at
2 away games.
Yep, 2 away games. So they go right from here. They hit Route 102, and they head right over there.
Head right over. Maybe grab a little bite to eat in between, they're back on the field.
And that's not an easy team to have to play after you've already played one game. So
no, and again, we played last night against Portsmouth. So
that is 3 games in 24 hours. That is not easy. That is not easy to do.
Definitely not easy to do.
Nope.
So that ball is hit to the right side, and Aiden O'Connell coming in on it, but that is going to drop, and it's going to be a throw to the plate. Get him at home, and Henry's not able to collect the throw, and the runner, Henry Dubois, not able to collect it, and the runner scores from third. And another RBI single, that one by Nathan Smith, and we've officially broken the scorebook now, and we have to move to another column to continue this second inning. always a moment when the scorebook breaks.
Yeah, exactly, huh?
That's something that's rare. So it brings up the leadoff hitter of this inning, Nicholas Shaw. So his second at bat of the inning, and second at bat of the game. Still just 1 out here. Now 7-0 Nashua Panthers over the Bedford Bulldogs. Runners on first and third. First base is Nathan Smith. Third base, Caleb Rich. That ball is way outside. Henry Dubois does a good job just to catch that ball. And Nicholas Shaw up 1-0. Catches him leaning over there, but not able to get the ball there quick enough.
Probably thinking of going. I don't know if he was really full. I'll tell you what, when you see the runners, when their right foot hits that corner flap on the infield, on the grass, that's when you know that they're going to go.
That ball lifted to right field. Right fielder Aiden O'Connell catches it, throws a
no one's
bullet.
going on that.
Yeah, and his arm's got to be sore. I mean, he pitched 6 innings of work yesterday against Portsmouth, and that pitch was another strike from right field, from ace pitcher Aiden O'Connell out there in right field. So that gets the second out of the inning. The fly ball to right field, and first and third play being put on. So that brings up Hunter Ward, the number 2 shortstop here for the Nashua South Panthers. His second at-bat of the inning as well. He reached on the error, slow roller to third base, error by Jack Hinton in his first at-bat of this inning. Takes a ball outside, 1-0 down to your count. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Panthers lead at 7-0 here over the Bulldogs here at beautiful Holman Stadium. Runner takes off, a strike, throw down by Dubois is high. That's going to be another stolen base, and coming in from third on the throw is Caleb
the old
Rich.
double steal. Works all the time, right? First and third play. So
first and third play, the Bedford Bulldogs decide to throw it down. Dubois throws the ball a little bit high, takes Carter Crowley up and off the bag, but as soon as that throw was made, Caleb Rich was taken off, and he scores the 7th run of the inning here for the Nashua Panthers, and they have blown this game wide open. 2-1 count now to the batter Hunter Ward, with runner on second base Nathan Smith. And here's that 2-1 pitch way outside. 3-1 now the count. Tough here inning for the Bulldogs. Panthers doing everything right now, and that's why they lead at 8-0. 10 o'clock in the morning start here on a Thursday, school vacation week, and that's going to be a walk for Hunter Ward, the 9-hitter for this team, and that will bring up the top of the lineup. Devin Sawyer he's reached twice today, both on hard hit balls, but both on errors by this Bulldogs team.
Yep.
First inning reached on an error by first baseman Connor Bergeron, then in the second inning reached on an error by the shortstop Carter Crowley, and
both on hard hit balls.
Both were scorched. I mean, he's hitting the ball well. So
could have. I mean, high school you could have given one out of the two maybe a hit, not both, but one out of the two maybe.
And certainly, I'm not the official scorekeeper.
No, and I'm not. I mean either. But I mean, that's a tough. Those are tough calls at the high school level. Pro or college level, I say that's got to be. Those are errors.
Right. So somewhere in there's somebody's stats keeping that's got the official scorebook. But the way I wrote them down, one of them is my own son, so I can give my own son an error, right? That's how it is, right? That's okay, right? So definitely the harshest critic are the parents of these players. That's just always how it is.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, it's a funny story. There was a parent of a Pinkerton player last Saturday, and Steve Campo called him out right in the middle of that after an at bat where he took a check swing, 2 check swings, and he said, we don't do check swings here, and he was yelling at everything else, and the mother was right next to me taking photos, and I said, is that your kid? She goes, yep. She goes, if you think that's bad, wait till you see what we say to him.
Right, exactly. No, it's fun. I mean, it's fun to be a part of these kids' journeys, but the parents are always the harshest critics of their own kids, and that's just how it is in all sports at all levels. So no matter where they are, it's just fun to be a part of it, but we'll continue to do what parents do. That ball is lifted down the right field line. It's going to get out of play.
Yeah, no, that's out of play chase. Right off the bat.
Aiden O'Connell gives it a good chase, and again, a full count here. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Panthers lead at 8-0 over the Bulldogs. A big, explosive second inning here for the Panthers with 7 runs scored so far. Runners on first and second base are Nathan Smith and Hunter Ward, and the batter, Devin Sawyer, putting it together another quality at-bat here for this South Panthers team. Runners take off, and that ball is lifted to center field again, hit hard. Tagliaferro tracking it, comes in, settles under it, and makes the play to end the inning. But wow, an inning it was. 7 runs in that inning for the Panthers, and they take an 8-0 lead into the top of the third inning. And we will see how this Bedford Bulldogs team, every team has to face adversity. Every team has to, find their ways and have these situations in these games. And right now, this Bedford Bulldogs team is going to have to dig deep to just create a game or try to make a game of it against a stellar pitcher in Grant McCoubry. So we'll head to the the top of the third inning here. McCoubry has been sitting on the bench for a little bit extra time. That was a long inning put on there by the South Panthers. Coach Chapman now talking to the Bedford Bulldogs about that inning and trying to regain some momentum in this game and for their season.
Jason, I just told Pete I think I might leave because I've got to go to Merrimack for North and Merrimack. But you know what? I'm going to stay for this half inning to see McCoubry and see how he responds to this.
Sounds good. Yeah,
And I'll stay for the half inning, and then after that, it'll be the Jason Bergeron show.
The Jason Bergeron show. I don't know. I'm not sure that's a show, but we'll make sure that we continue calling all the coverage here at Holman Stadium. And of course, we thank you for everything that you've done for Nashua Sports, Tom King, and you continue to do for Nashua Sports. So thank you for joining me today, and I've been honored to be a part of it today.
Yeah, I got thrown a curve when it was like this Monday morning, but tons of water on a field in Merrimack that postponed a North Merrimack game, which is the 2 teams in my coverage area. So
that's what happens. I mean,
and then so they moved it to. Of course, they had to move it to today.
Yeah.
So
Thursday in the morning. Typically you don't have a baseball game to call.
11 a.m. game. Well, it was an 11 a.m. game Monday. That would have been tough enough, but they kept the same time. I was hoping they'd move it to the afternoon, but they did not.
But they didn't. So
no.
Well, again, we appreciate everything, and again, an honor to be calling this first part of the game with you today.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I'm curious to see how McCoubry responds here, right? You want to see what he can do and everything else. And with the control issues he's had to sit for a while. So let's see what he does here with the 8-run lead. And right now, it looks like he hasn't altered anything.
Yeah, nothing, a little bit, there's no pressure now, right? You're up 8-0, you got an 8-0 lead. Let's just see kind of just settle in and throw strikes. It brings Dominic Tagliaferro, the leadoff hitter for this Bedford. Well, that ball hit the left-hander's batter's box.
And you see, you see how that can change in a hurry for him. Clearly it's mechanics,
yeah,
right?
There's a mechanical flaw there somewhere in his delivery, and
they'll have to figure that out.
They'll work on that, and he's got some time there. But that's another pitch that just misses on the outside edge. But I mean, I can only equate this to my golf swing, right? Sometimes I hit one right down the middle, and then sometimes I just slice it to the left. I'm a lefty, but slice it to the left. So that's all mechanics too.
I knew you were a lefty.
Yeah, there you go. And a walk now. So that control, just to your point, you wanted to kind of see how McCoubry reacted. First leadoff hitter there is Tagliaferro. He walks. And it was, he did get 2 strikes there, but the pitches that he missed on were missed by a lot.
Right. The bouncing pitch that was way off, that's what really you don't want to see if you're Nashua South.
And that ball's in the dirt as well. Yep. And Tagliaferro takes second base. Tagliaferro's got the speed to take the base on his own, but when you put one in the dirt like that, that's an easy.
Well, look at it. Yeah, look at Tagliaferro. When he got at first base, he wasn't staying there no matter what.
No.
He was going at some point.
He's got some of the most speed I've seen, and he was part of that Bedford football team as well on the offensive side. I think he actually played both sides of the ball there, but he is a special athlete, plays hockey as well, part of that state championship runner-up this year. So he's definitely an athlete.
Well, Jason Bergeron, while I have you, you talked about hockey. What was the reaction in the final with the penalty shot?
I was on that call with BCTV, and in live action, I was watching defender Maddox Muir, the DH here for this baseball team. I was watching Maddox Muir on the back check on the player with the puck.
Right.
And, I saw the referee raise his arm. I saw the play, and I said, geez, that's a missed call. That's not a penalty shot. He wasn't in the free.
Until you saw the replay of the stick being thrown.
And then I saw the replay, and I said, well, that's a no-brainer.
Isn't that amazing? No one was watching that. No one saw that except the referees.
The referees saw that, and they do a good job, and I never question the referees. Well, I question them, but you never question them, that long. And when I saw that replay, it was clear as day. That was the right call. And, unfortunate way to end the season for the Bedford team. And Aiden O'Connell rips a ball to left field. That one's slicing away and gets fair. It's a one-hop defense.
That's
in left
over.
field.
Ground rule double.
Ground rule double, and that'll be a RBI ground rule double for Aiden O'Connell, who now has a triple in the first inning and a double in the second inning. He's seeing the ball well off of McCoubry, for sure. So, to wrap up that conversation, it's hard to. My son also played on that.
That's why.
Well.
I know it. That had to be a difficult call and a difficult day to have to go through. And
we had such a good run. The big win against Concord, the undefeated Concord team.
Unbelievable,
That was a huge overtime win there.
No
at JFK,
doubt about it.
And, to get to that moment, and then
then rally down 3-1.
Yeah, the excitement level was at a peak there.
Yeah, and, all the momentum in the world that you had going into that overtime, and it looked like you had outplayed them in that overtime the first minute, and then all of a sudden, boom, it goes the other way.
Just a kind of an odd play, a neutral zone puck that just kind of bounced the wrong way.
Right.
DG collects it. Maddox Muir is on the defensive side, makes a good play, kind of creates a tough angle, but the weak side defender just decided to throw the stick, and that's one of the 3 things that you don't do in hockey. One of them is throw the stick at any point. So, but back to baseball action here. Jack Hinton now steps to the plate. 8-1 the score. The Panthers lead it here in the top of the third inning against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs just scored their run on the triple, or the ground rule double, I should say, by Aiden O'Connell, scoring Dominic Tagliaferro after he walked. And Hinton now steps to the plate for his second at bat. He was a strikeout victim looking in the first inning, and Hinton now getting a better swings here.
You see the pitcher a second over the plate,
making the adjustments as hitters and seeing it, right? And they haven't, to your point, he's a fastball pitcher, doesn't have a lot of off speed, at least that he's featuring today. And you just got to then Hinton just laces one to left And he lines one to center field. That's going to get down, and that'll be another single.
It's not going to score a run, though. No, that's a smart play. Keep the train moving and load the bases down 6 runs. And this is going to be a back and forth affair, I think.
Yeah, no doubt that this Bedford team can hit. They entered the game today hitting nearly 300 as a team, and they can put the bat on the ball. And McCoubry, again, now trying to find the zone, so those balls are just going to be finding a little bit more of the plate each time. And, and Bedford has taken advantage of that early here in the top of the 3rd inning, scoring 2 runs so far, and now with the bases loaded, no outs facing McCoubry. And there is 2 quick strikes. Maddox Muir steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 in this game, struck out looking in his first at-bat last inning, and down quickly 0-2. But there is some action down in the Nashua Panthers bullpen. I can't tell who the number is, but that one bounces in the dirt and gets by, and nobody scores.
Yeah, see, no one's going to try because of the bounce back in the short area right there. The catcher can get to it. There would have been a play at home plate. Even though that ball didn't bounce back solidly, there might have been a play at home.
There might have been one there for sure, and the runner didn't get a great jump on it because, again, they're still trying to figure this wall out. How does it bounce back? And Chapman's not going to take any chances here with no outs in the top of the 3rd. And Muir fouls it back, and that one catches catcher Caleb Rich awkwardly and
he's down.
He is down and in pain. Coach is coming out for the Panthers. Looks like the trainer too. Just give him a second to recollect himself, but not sure where that caught him. But that certainly caught catcher Caleb Rich in a tough area. And
trainer Colin Morrow is coming out. That was what the pre-game thing was. They thanked Colin Morrow. This is his final game as South's athletic trainer. He's been the athletic trainer for the last couple of years, and he was also a South alum. He played. He was a good athlete in football, basketball, and he also played. I think lacrosse was his main sport. He is going to go back to his alma mater, back to the University of New England, to attend physician assistant school.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah.
So he
has a stellar reputation and a growing reputation for their athletic facilities and kind of what they're investing in their program there. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, well, he's going to go back up to school. I don't think he's going to be there to play any sports. He's going to be there to. No, he's going to be there. He's the trainer. He's going to be there to study.
Yeah.
So
study, but be a part of that program.
Yeah,
too,
I wonder if he'll do anything with the program at all in terms of training or anything like that on the side. But he is going up to back to the University of New England, and today's his last game. He works for Performance Fitness on assignment to Nashua South, and now he is going to head up north. And I'll miss him. It was fun to talk to him. He even did some of the training for the Silver Knights here during the summer. So I'll miss Colin Morrow. We wish him the best of luck here at Nashua ETV.
Yeah, definitely best of luck here from the BCTV crew as well, and always love to hear those stories. So Caleb Rich has collected himself, and everything seems to be okay, and Maddox Muir continues his at-bat right now, a good at-bat, a 3-2 count now to Muir. And again, bases loaded here, top of the 3rd inning, Bedford Bulldogs threatening to score more. They've gotten 2 already in the inning on no outs. Maddox Muir at the plate, 3-2 takes a walk, and that's going to be another run scored for Bedford. Now 3 in the inning, and the bases will remain loaded for...
And a little bit more work in the bullpen, a little harder throwing, because it looks like McCoubry's on a very short leash here.
Short leash here. Looks like the coach is going out there. We did get word here from Pete Johnson that Logan Fear, number 16, out in the bullpen for Nashua South Panthers warming up, and he would be the pitcher to come in and replace McCoubry if he cannot find his zone here. And first pitch ball to the batter for Bedford, Jake Oster, playing second base today. He popped out to the third baseman in foul territory in his first at-bat, and he will now take his second cracks against McCoubry. Fouls that one straight back, and boy, was he on that pitch. That's a fastball that caught a lot of the plate and just missed driving that ball. So 1-1 the count to Oster. Looks like the Fear out there in the bullpen still continues to warm. McCoubry brings the pitch. That ball is fouled back to just to the right side of our booth here. Now 1-2 to Oster. No outs. Top of the third inning. 8-3 your score. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs with, again, bases loaded for the Bulldogs and Jake Oster at the plate.
And the infield in at the corners.
Infield in at the corners. This is when earlier in the game, Bedford was out on the defensive side. They had the same defensive setup, and a ball was hit right between third base and shortstop hole to score a run. So Jake Oster swings and misses at that pitch.
Say he fouled it?
I do not believe.
No, I do not think so. He swung and missed, and the ball bounced off the catcher's glove.
Yeah. But
wow.
Okay.
That is a bad call.
That's a tough one. It definitely from this angle looked like that. Did not look like he got any part of that bat. But Oster stays alive, and now
I think he realized it. I think the next pitch was going to be a strike, even if it was up in my booth.
Right. You're going to want to swing at that pitch no matter what as a hitter. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's the second time I've seen that. I saw that in softball last week when a ball bounced off the catcher on a swing, and the umpire thought that it should have been the third strike. The umpire thought that the ball was fouled off.
Yeah, it
heard the tick, but the tick was off the mask.
And usually these bats have such a distinct sound.
Yes,
so you can really tell. But
right.
Not the case there. So a 1-0 count now. The hitter Henry Dubois, catcher for this Bedford team, singled in his first at bat today. Big swing there, 1-1. I mean, he was sitting dead red on a fastball and was looking to drive that one. Bases loaded, 1 out here, top of the third inning, 8-3 your score. Henry Dubois, the hitter for Bedford. He lines one to right field. The outfielder was drawn in a bit, goes back to get it. It's going to score Danny Black.
Going to be a sac fly. Yeah,
a sac fly to right field for Henry Dubois. A functional at bat for him.
But good positioning out in right field. He was able to see that ball off the bat and be able to make that play. Jimmy Guy is coming out for a pitching change, and I'm going to take advantage of that change and say goodbye to the viewers in Bedford as I head over to Merrimack to see Merrimack and Nashua North.
Thank you again, Tom King, for everything, and again, thank you for joining me on the broadcast. And I really joined you today down here in Nashua, but we appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Let's do it again.
Absolutely, I'm always up for it. So, thank you again, Tom King. And we'll with this pitching change, it looks like number 16, Logan Fear, is coming in. I hope I'm saying his name right, and he is coming in to be the pitcher for Nashua. I believe it is number. Is that 16 or 15? Hard to see here, but he'll be the new pitcher here. McCoubry is chased from the game after giving up 4 runs in this top of the third inning. He'll end his day, and it's number 15. So number 15, and I don't have 15 on a roster, so it's not Logan Fear. My apologies to the viewers of Nashua. Don't have 15 on the roster, so we'll work on getting the pitcher here for them. Let me see if I have it on the picture of the lineup card I took earlier. See if I can find that for you quickly. Let me see. We're all scrambling to find. There's no numbers on the lineup card that I had, so I can't tell. So I'm going to do my best here. We'll see if we can get it. Nate Matson. Okay, so Nate Matson, number 15. Nate Matson is going to take the mound. Make a note of that. And we'll see what I don't know much about Nate Matson in terms of what he delivers and what he brings to the plate, but we're going to be watching this live as a group. Again, Nashua ETV today, covering the game, simulcasting with BC TV, Bedford TV today. A great day here at Holman Stadium. Bedford Bulldogs and Nashua Panthers, with the Panthers leading 8-4 here in the top of the third inning. Now 2 outs, runners on first and second for Bedford, for Nate Matson to come in and relieve starter Grant McCoubry for the Panthers. So he's finalizing his pitches here. When he throws his first pitches, it will be to number 2, Carter Crowley, shortstop for this Bedford team. He grounded out to the second baseman in his first at-bat in the second inning against McCoubry. And we'll see what he does here against new pitcher for the South Panthers, Nate Matson. He will look into Caleb Rich for some signs, and away we go. First pitch is going to be a ball to Carter Crowley. 8-4 your score. The Panthers lead it after scoring 7 runs in the bottom of the second inning. Make it 8-4. Panthers over the Bulldogs. Top of the third inning, 2 outs. That ball is lined and blooped to left field, and that's going to be a single for Carter Crowley, and that will reload the bases now for the top of the lineup. And again, both teams now have officially broken the scorebook, and Dominic Tagliaferro will come up for his second plate appearance of the inning. That's what I mean by breaking the scorebook. And we'll see Dominic Tagliaferro. He walked in his first at-bat of this inning, struck out in his first at-bat of the game. This will be his third plate appearance of the day. And Carter Crowley stands on first base. Second base is Maddox Muir, and third base Connor Bergeron. Tagliaferro rips one foul. Boy, that one was hit with enough depth to get out of this stadium, and it just went foul. And boy, oh boy, that would have tied the game with a grand slam for Dominic Tagliaferro. He sat on that fastball by Matson and just drove it to left. So nonetheless, just a loud and long strike, an 0-1 count now to Tagliaferro, and he takes a ball low and away. Matson staying away there from Tagliaferro on that pitch after seeing the first pitch launch about 330 feet just foul. So Tagliaferro steps up again, staying away from him. Now 2-1 count to Tagliaferro. Entered the game today hitting 300, and he does have 1 home run that he hit out of the SAU field over in Bedford this year. And here's the pitch. That's inside, 3-1. Bases loaded, so nowhere to put Tagliaferro right now. 2 outs, top of the third inning. Bulldogs down 8-4 to the Panthers. Matson, the new pitcher, in for the South Panthers. And here's the pitch. That one bounces in the dirt. It's going to be an RBI walk for Tagliaferro, his second walk of the inning, and that scores Bergeron from third base. Perfect. All right. Just getting some programming notes here. We're going to head to a quick break here after the top of this inning, I believe. So that ball is going to be outside. So the hitter now, Aiden O'Connell, having himself a day right now. He's got a triple and a double in this game, and he takes this at bat with the bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 balls outside, and Matson, the new pitcher for the Panthers, having a little trouble finding the plate, and we'll continue to see how this pitching, as Tom King was talking about earlier, a Thursday game, you start to see a little bit of a shake-up in the pitchers and who can do what, when, and where, because the schedules have been so compressed with all the weather changes. And a Thursday game on a school vacation week, a little tricky to kind of see who's going to be playing where and when, why. So bases loaded. Looks like Caleb Rich just trying to settle down Nate Matson right now. Tough spot to come into, being up, but having the bases loaded and coming in relief of McCoubry, and this is just a tough spot for sure. Maddox Muir stands at third for Bedford. Carter Crowley at second base. Dominic Tagliaferro at first base. 5 runs in the inning here for Bedford, and the score is 8-5, though. Panthers still lead at 8-5, but Bedford has made this a game again. And at one point in this game, it didn't look good, but now 8-5. O'Connell lifts one high to the shortstop. Shortstop tracking it. That is Ward, makes the play, and that will be a huge out for the Panthers. 8-5 your score. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning right after this quick break. Nashua ETV and Bedford BCTV. welcome back here to historic Holman Stadium, where the Nashua South Panthers take on the Bedford Bulldogs here today in a 10 a.m. school vacation week start. And boy, a game it is. You know, it's so far now an 8-5 game heading into the bottom of the third inning. And I do want to say quickly, you know, I want to welcome to the booth Bedford color commentary specialist John Muir.
Hey, Jay. Good to be here. I love the call. It's like you went to the bullpen.
I went to the bullpen. Tom King, of course, we've talked about it earlier on the broadcast. He had to take off and cover another event. And, you know, being multi-scheduled like that's tough. Again, Thursday games at 10, you just never know what you're going to get. But exciting that you and I get to get back together after last night's game against Portsmouth, come back here to historic Holman Stadium, and now we're calling a game from this unbelievable press box.
This is unbelievable is right. It's the first thing I noticed when I got up to the room. It's just such a nice layout, such a beautiful field. Oh, gotcha. Oh, sorry about that, Jay.
No worries.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful field, beautiful day, and we got a game after that. After the bottom of the second, where Nashua South put up 7 on us. It really, I was getting a little nervous there, but that was a nice comeback last inning, and now we got ourselves a pretty tight ball game here.
No doubt about it. So a few defensive notes. We went to break there, and we were kind of recalibrating our broadcast for today. But Bedford defensively has gone back to the bullpen, and back on the mound here is new to the mound is Bowden Smith for this Bedford team. Bowden last saw action last night against the Portsmouth Clippers team. He takes the mound again, facing off against that batter Tanaka, who just earned himself a walk to lead off the inning. So, and you know, Bowden Smith just kind of, again, maybe getting on the mound here at Holman Stadium is something special. And all these pitchers so far on the Bedford side, at least, just kind of trying to figure out how to throw strikes off of this mound and in this game. So right now, you know, Bowden Smith just throws a strike. It's a 1-1 count. We're here in the bottom of the third inning. 8-5 to score. The Panthers leading, and Bowden Smith looking into Dean Adams, the batter for the South Panthers. Dean Adams got a big single in the first inning and then was hit by a pitch in the second inning, and that ended the day for Patrick Foulis, the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs. 1-1 the count. And that ball is hit hard to Bergeron. He catches it on the line and looks back to try to get Tanaka, but Tanaka was a little stealthy getting back to that bag. So he remains on first base, 1 out now. Bedford collects that out on the line drive out to Bergeron at first base.
Great alert play. He got a great jump on the ball right off the bat and almost doubled him up there.
Almost doubled him up. He's had 2 big plays. He had a big diving play yesterday, and then that one a little less of a dive, but in both cases makes the play, and that's the key for this Bedford Bulldogs team. So
yeah, and Bowden's got that strong pickoff move. He really, you know, we've seen a lot last night in the Portsmouth game. We actually saw a great pickoff by Aiden O'Connell, and I'll tell you, Bowden's move to first base is really rock solid.
It is really rock solid, and that, as we were talking there, Tanaka steals second base. It looked like Henry Dubois caught that ball clean, but then almost double pumped. I'm not sure he had a good grip on it as he came up, and then he short hopped the throw and just wasn't going to get there in time after that double pump. You don't have any time there behind the plate to pump, and nonetheless, right after that, Hedquist gets hit with a pitch, and he heads down to first base, and here we go again. 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Now runners on first and second for South. There hasn't been a clean inning really since the first inning. There hasn't been a clean inning for the entire game for both teams, but the first inning was the best inning for the Nashua South Panthers. They only saw 5 batters come to the plate there in that inning, and you know that everywhere else there's been runs scored, hits, walks, hit batters. I mean, it's been one of those days here at Holman Stadium. So
lots of action. Beautiful day down here. I've definitely got to credit Hedquist for just taking that pitch right to the shoulder blade, and the beauty of these guys, you know, they get hit and you know that hurts, and he just walked it right down to first base like nothing ever happened. Tough kids.
Good pitch there by Bowden Smith. But you're right, though. We were talking with Tom King earlier about that. We were talking about just like standing in there and taking these pitches. And Tom was mentioning getting hit with a lacrosse ball, but you never show pain as a player. But boy, when you get back to your car or your home, you know that you got hit by a ball, a lacrosse ball, a baseball, whatever it is. And that ball is hit hard on the ground by Jake O'Connor through the shortstop and third base hole again. And it's going to be an RBI single, scoring Tanaka from second. And here we go again. More runs being put on the board. That one by way of a hard hit single by Jake O'Connor. And it is now 9-5. Your South Panthers leading the Bedford Bulldogs here in the bottom of the third inning. 11:30 the time on the board right now. An hour and a half into this game. We're just into the third inning. Or just in the bottom of the third. So definitely a long game because of all these runs that are being scored.
Yeah, and you notice that ball, he drove it up basically right through the shortstop position. You've got Crowley was definitely shifted over towards second base. There's that huge opening between short and third right now, trying to keep that runner on and protect anything from going up the middle.
Yeah, and there's been 2 RBI singles hit that exact way today and in today's game, and both of them coming for the Nashua South Panthers. But right now to the plate, Caleb Rich, the catcher, who took an odd foul ball here last inning, but now steps to the plate, doing a great job behind the plate for the Panthers. And that ball was fouled off. Runner from second base was he taken off there. That he was off and going. That was Hedquist.
Yeah, it's like he had a designed hit and run on there for sure. Strong swing at the pitch, and both runners from first and second were on their way right as that ball came off the pitcher's hand. So definitely aggressive on the base pass.
Yeah, that's what you got to be. So an 0-2 count now, 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Panthers lead at 9-5 over the Bulldogs here on Nashua ETV and BCTV. A simulcast day here and a special day here at Holman Stadium for both of these teams for sure. And that ball is lined down the third base line, just gets beyond Hinton's outreached arm, and that's going to get into the left field foul territory. Danny Black collects the ball. It's going to be a double for Caleb Rich, and one more run scores for this Nashua Panthers team, and now still second and third, 1 out for the Panthers.
Yeah, and Danny Black, he took a hard slip out there, it looked like, on the grass. This grass is so nice. It's potentially got a little moisture on it, or he lost his footing, or maybe he just couldn't plant his spikes, but he went down. I don't think it really cost anything more than what would have happened, but he seems to be hobbling a little bit out there and left.
He is hobbling a little bit, and there's no doubt that we've gotten some interesting weather here throughout New England, especially here in New Hampshire, and these fields have definitely seen their fair share of wet weather. Right now, Coach Chapman has gone out, and he is going to make the pitching change right now. It looks like Bowden Smith's day is complete. He's given up 2 runs here in this inning, some hard hit balls, a walk, and it's going to lead to number 22 Nolan Arnold to be coming out of the bullpen. Cool experience to be warming up in the bullpen here at Nashua's Holman Stadium, and then being called from the head coach, Billy Chapman, to come to the mound. So Nolan Arnold will take the mound, and we'll see what he can bring. He throws hard, much like McCoubry in terms of his ability to throw a good velocity fastball, and we'll see what he can bring to the game today. But in the meantime, we'll just talk a little bit, John, about what we've seen from these from this Nashua South team today so far has been pretty impressive. I mean, they come into the game 2-3. They lost their first 3 games, 1 to Goffstown, 1 to Exeter, and 1 to Trinity, and then they beat Concord and they beat Pinkerton. So 2-3, but the record doesn't tell the whole story.
No doubt about that. Whatever it was they were trying to shake off after those first few games, it certainly looks like they did. They've got some really, really hot bats. I've seen this lineup come through. When you score 10 runs, you see every kid pretty much who's in the lineup a couple times at least, and everybody has a chance to get the bat on the ball. They're aggressive hitters, but what impresses me the most is that when they're on the bases, they're ready to go, and they're taking the long leads, and they're taking they are ready to run aggressively on the base paths, and you can tell that the coach has definitely instilled that on this team. It stands out for sure.
Yeah, one of the things that Tom King and I were talking about earlier on the early part of the broadcast was this is a team that last year had a a substantial amount of talent, and they just continue to grow. But there's, out of the 9 starters today in the game, not including the pitcher, but there's 8 of them that are seniors.
Wow.
So and what's interesting is the starting pitcher is those were the hitters in the lineup. So 8 of 9 hitters in the lineup are seniors to start the game, and then their pitcher, the starting pitcher, Grant McCoubry, sophomore, already committed to Vanderbilt.
Wow.
So I mean, you could see the electric stuff there.
Yeah, he was pumping that fastball. I was really impressed when I first got here. I came in a little late, but of course I was listening to you on the ride down. You and Tom sounded excellent.
Oh, thank you.
But it was when I got here, I'm glad I actually got to see. This. It's got to be intimidating for batters to face him. Big, tall, strong kid, just pumping fastballs in there, and his off-speed stuff and his curve was solid as well. We got to him a little bit. It looks like Aiden had some success there, but he's no doubt got a bright future ahead of him.
Well, you had two Division I commits. Aiden O'Connell, you're talking about, going to Northwestern, and then Grant McCoubry, a sophomore, going to Vanderbilt. So those 2 players, playing at a high level, and you could tell on the field. But it looks like Arnold has taken his warm-up pitches, and the new pitcher for Bedford, Nolan Arnold, throws his first pitch to Nathan Smith, the designated hitter here today for the Nashua South Panthers, and it's a 1-1 count. 1 out now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 10-5 your score. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs here. Again, still early in this game. Arnold now throws the 1-1 pitch, and that ball is fouled off. And John, one of the things you'll notice here is the angle of this view. It sometimes fools you. Some of these hits look like they're going into the field of play, and they end up being foul balls.
Yeah, it's deceiving. I don't know what it is. It's got to just be. I know you and I are certainly not used to calling a game from up high like this. We're usually right at field level, tucked in a corner somewhere. But yeah, you can tell that ball is. It's hard to predict where it's going to go when it comes off that bat sometimes.
It sure is. And Nathan Smith goes down by strikeout. So Nolan Arnold comes into the game, runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and then gets the first batter, Nathan Smith, to strike out for the 2nd out of the inning. And that will bring to the plate Nicholas Shaw for this Nashua South Panthers team. He has walked and flown out to right field in his at-bats today. And Arnold throws his first pitch, and that is a good, solid fastball on the outside edge of the plate. And we have Nicholas Shaw now down 0-1 with 2 outs. And Arnold looks to deliver. Another fastball, almost the exact same pitch, and he is picking away at the black edge of the plate.
Yeah, if you're going to get it, you may as well live there.
Live there, and we saw early in the game that the umpire was going to give that zone, that call, and the pitchers struggled a little bit to find their accuracy once the game progressed. The starters, Foulis and McCoubry, but again, that one just a little bit more. But hey, he's just trying to find that spot. Keeps picking away at that outside edge, and I'll tell you what, Nicholas Shaw is going to have to commit to pushing the ball to the right side if he's going to try to hit one of those fastballs.
Yeah, Nolan's real consistent on those last 3 pitches.
That one, and a great pitch there. I love the mentality. He's been working and chipping away at the outside edge, and then just brings a fastball on the inside part of the plate. So just as I say, as a batter, you want to commit to going the other way. The pitcher plays that game on the mind side of the game, and then goes inside and squeezes it. He swings through, fouls it back, squeezes it as Henry Dubois, and Nolan Arnold comes in and just strikes out the 2 batters. And here we go, back to the top of the 4th inning with the Bedford Bats now trying to come back alive on the field. 10-5 your score, and the Panthers lead the Bulldogs here heading to the top of the 4th.
Yeah, impressive pitching from Nolan Arnold. I haven't seen much of Nolan this year on the mound, and I'll tell you, his velocity was great. The movement on his fastball was definitely deceiving, and he was definitely able to paint that outside corner. It definitely worked out well for him, and was able to get out of that jam in the inning. So
yeah, a good kind of outing here, or first outing for Nolan Arnold, at least in today's game. He comes Nashua South was putting together. But you look back at the innings here, Bedford in their first 2 innings don't score any runs off starter McCoubry, then get to McCoubry a little bit and score 5 runs in the 3rd inning. And then, but the Panthers have consistently been putting runs on the board, and crooked numbers at that. First inning they scored 1, and then in the 2nd inning they had that big explosive inning with scoring 7 runs, and then that inning again scoring 2. So, again, just trying to find that clean inning, is the Bulldog team, trying to get 3 outs without allowing a run.
Yeah, that's I feel watching Jack Hinton come up to the plate again. This is we in these high scoring games. It's great for all these kids who love to get up there and hit. They're just working through the lineup one after another. So we'll see if Bedford can keep up the momentum that they've built here in the last couple innings, or last inning especially, putting up 5 runs. They're down 5, but here we go.
And here we go. Matson comes back to the plate. Maxon comes back to the mound. Hold on one second here. The pitch is a high ball to Hinton. And as is the case with sometimes things during the day on a Thursday, things are got to respond to. So my apologies there. So Matson comes back to the mound here with Hinton coming to the plate. A 2-0 count now to Hinton here in the top of the 4th inning.
Did you just field another call from ESPN, Jason?
Yeah, the contract status. Yeah, they're just talking about my contract.
That was your agent.
The agent, yes. Yeah, no. We, John Muir and I, Jason Bergeron, we just enjoy doing these games. We love coming out, talking baseball, seeing these kids perform on the field, on the ice, in the gym, wherever it is that we're able to call these games. And again, we thank Nashua ETV today for covering this game in conjunction with BC TV, Bedford TV, to bring all the action from Holman Stadium. So
it is a great field. I'm just in awe sitting up here. It's just beautiful this place is. And I will say we talked a little bit about it last night. If you're gonna have a full week of spring break baseball, I took the week off from work, and it's been tough to do, but we've got kids that play spring and winter sports, and while these kids are still in school, this is what you do. You go to games. You don't go to the beach. You don't sit on a beach drinking a margarita. You come to a field somewhere.
That's exactly right. And Jack Hinton earns a walk here. So again, nothing clean for either of these teams in this Thursday morning game. And Hinton now takes first base on the walk. Danny Black comes to the plate, and no outs here. Top of the 4th inning, 10-5 your score. Panthers leading the Bedford Bulldogs. And this beautiful day here. And again, that one bounced in. So Danny Black sees a first pitch that bounces off of Caleb Ridge. Boy, he has done a really good job. He's throwing every part of his body at these balls today as a catcher, and very impressed with his work behind the plate.
Yeah, he's going to need some ice after this game, no doubt.
That is for sure. So 1-0 count now to Danny Black. That ball is high, and 2-0. Danny, he drew a walk in the 3rd inning, and then was hit by McCoubry, a McCoubry fastball, by the way, off the helmet, right on the ear. And he's still in there. Like you said, he slipped out in left field today. So, boy, he's taken a beating today in this game as well.
If anyone on this roster can take a hit, it's this kid. He's the reigning state championship quarterback in Division I football in high school this year, and he's a real tough kid. And I hate to see anyone get hit in the head, but if it's going to happen,
that's the one to do.
Here's your guy.
And Danny Black lifts this one high, and back. Caleb Rich is tracking it, and he makes the play. So that ball stays in play, and he's able to track that back, and he makes the pop-out catch behind home plate right in front of us. Danny Black is retired, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Bringing to the plate now Connor Bergeron. He struck out looking in the first inning against McCoubry, and then had a single off of McCoubry in the 3rd inning, a line drive single that reloaded the bases there.
Yeah, Connor Bergeron seeing the ball really well lately. Just drove another nice. That single was really well hit. I believe he got a couple of RBIs out of it as well.
It was that ball was inside. He moved back from it, but was called a strike. I don't think we scored. I think it reloaded the bases. I think it was such a line drive hit that it was hit so hard that they weren't able to score from second. But That ball is low, so a 2-1 count now to Bergeron. And
see, I was just a fan his last at bat. Now I'm a broadcaster, so I'm not. I'm much more dialed in now than I was while I was sitting down there.
Dialing in. It's different to be a fan and then and do the broadcast. That's
sure
for sure. So another. Oh wow! Jeez. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Even from this side, I'm on the other end of the booth, and that looked pretty inside.
Pretty inside. So 2-2 pitch here to Bergeron. He swings hard at that one, lines it down the line, third base line, just foul, just left of the third base bag there, but hit hard on the ground. If that ball is fair, that's going into potentially extra bases, as it would get down into that corner here at Holman Stadium. A lot of area to cover. Bergeron hits that one, chops it to the pitcher. He runs to first base. He's going to be out there. He's going to move the runner up to second, but just buried that one right into the ground, and then they made an easy play. Mattson over to first base, Hedquist for the second out of the inning. So
yeah, when you get in a hole like that, and these pitchers are smart enough to live where they get a good call, and if you can paint the inside corner like he did, he just kept going back to it, and it changes everything. You go from an offensive at bat to a more of a protect type of swing there. So
that brings to the plate, 2 outs now, top of the fourth inning. That brings to the plate Maddox Muir, somebody you're very familiar with, your household. And again, the rules stay the same for you, I assume. No making anything that would embarrass Maddox. That was the one rule he had for you coming into the booth this year.
Yeah, I've been pretty true to it last night. I refrained from making any. That one goes into the dugout.
So 1-2 count out of Muir. But yeah, you refrained from making any comment. I think when it hit his forehead, the ball bounced off a foul ball, hit his forehead.
There was the forehead. There was the coming out of the dugout with his hat on backwards, which that's just a no-go in our house. Right. He knows that. But,
and he knows these rules.
I was smart enough to wait till after the game last night, not to say anything on air. But now that I got it out of the way, right. I feel confident that I can address that.
He was a strikeout victim of McCoubry in his first at bat today in the second inning. Then he walked. I believe I had a note there. I think he walked.
He did.
So yeah, you would know that. He walked in the third inning, and now he is 3-2, 2 outs here. The ball gets by the catcher Rich, and Hinton moves over to third, but for ill, Maddox Muir strikes out there swinging, and that will end the inning for Bedford. They don't get any runs that inning, and we talked about those clean innings for the Bulldogs on the defensive side. Nashua has seen now 3 clean innings, just that one inning for Bedford where they scored 5 runs. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. The score here, the Nashua South Panthers lead the Bedford Bulldogs 10-5, and boy, oh boy, what a game we're seeing here. And what's crazy is that there's more baseball to be played today, at least for this Bedford Bulldogs team.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a perfect day for it for one. So take
advantage.
We got a great game going here, and what I think love the most about these games that go long like this is that I have more of an excuse not to do any yard work, which is terrific. So we'll go here, maybe go grab a bite to eat, and then we'll head to the next game at 3:00.
Yeah, I will. I'm not going to be able to make that Londonderry game myself, unfortunately. I didn't take the whole week off, but I did take this game off because I knew this one was happening, and I knew I wanted to be a part of the call if we could be there. So I won't be there, but my wife will be there. Amy will be there watching our son play and this Bedford Bulldogs team play. So, but a great day for baseball nonetheless. Either way. So Bedford retakes the field here. Same defensive unit that they had last inning. Nolan Arnold on the mound. Battery mate Henry Dubois doing a great job behind the plate today, and the same defensive players will be out in the field for Bedford. They will be facing off against the number 9 hitter Hunter Ward, and then back to the top of the lineup for Nashua South. The 4th at bats here coming for that Nashua South team here in the 4th inning for them. There'll be Devin Sawyer and Casey Tanaka following Hunter Ward when we get play resumed here. But beautiful day at Holman Stadium again. Can't thank Nashua ETV enough, as well as Bedford BCTV today for covering covering this game in simulcast fashion. Tom King started the game off with me here in the booth, and now we got John Muir on the headset again. Both of us being from Bedford, calling the Bedford side of the games more frequently, and we're excited to be here. Camera operator Tim O'Neill, field engineer, executive producer Pete Johnson, and from Nashua ETV here as well, helping us bring you the coverage, and studio engineer Andrew Fenn over at BCTV, covering the game on the BCTV side. So again, thank you to everybody for just allowing us to be a part of this and for bringing all this coverage to you today. So bottom of the fourth, Hunter steps to the plate, Hunter Ward that is, steps to the plate, and 1-1 count now to him. He turned and squared the bunt there, John, and maybe just trying to get a base runner on again for Nashua to bring up the top of the lineup.
Yeah, Nolan, he's a real unflappable kid. I've known Nolan for many years. That
ball was driven, but again, foul. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be into the down the line, but that one well foul.
Yeah, Nolan doesn't get rattled very easily. He just is a steady Eddie. He's up there. He's just going to make his pitch, and if he has a bad one, he's going right to the next one. He doesn't dwell. His body language is always the same, and he's a heck of a player. He's throwing the ball great right here.
That ball is hit hard on the ground over to Carter Crowley at shortstop. He comes across the diamond. A good scoop over at first base by Connor Bergeron, and that will be the first out of the inning for the Bedford Bulldogs. Hunter Ward retired from Crowley to Bergeron. And again, a good play. Defensively, we struggled. The Bedford Bulldogs have struggled a little bit today on the defensive side of the ball. They just, fighting this field. Tom King was talking a little bit about this field, just playing a little bit different, maybe a little bit more true than maybe some of the other fields. And it does take a little bit of time for these defensive teams coming in here to make their adjustments.
Yeah, the field is just, like you said, true, I think is the perfect word for it. I mean, it's just so well maintained, and you see Nolan living on that outside edge of the plate again on that pitch.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from Nolan. He brings a good velocity. He does change speeds well, but when he's picking points and hitting the corners of the plate, that's when you see him at his best. And so far today, so good. I don't want to give that broadcaster's jinx, but that's another pitch right in the same spot. I mean, looking at it right over the plate from our position, those pitches are just right on the outside edge of the plate. These hitters for Nashua South just have to commit to pushing one out to right field, and Aiden O'Connell's out in right field, so there's not many options here as a hitter.
Yeah, and you can see our second baseman playing deep in the hole, almost set up for that outside pitch. With Nolan going there, something's going to get over. It's going to be really hard to pull that outside pitch down the left field line.
It sure is, and that ball is there. It is the one that's going to be foul in foul territory. Popped up. Bergeron tracking it, makes the catch to make the second out of the inning here. So a pop out to Bergeron by Devin Sawyer, and that'll be the second out. And again, I'm not going to say it, but 2 outs here, no runners on for the Nashua South team, and Bedford looking to close out this inning and hopefully put a 0 on the board for the Nashua South Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't want to go with the broadcaster's jinx like I did last night. So.
Right. Well, you did call for late inning heroics last night. You just called it for the wrong team, unfortunately. So Nolan Arnold now facing off against Casey Tanaka, his 4th at-bat of the day. He has struck out and walked twice. He's also swiped a few bags here as stolen bases, so he's definitely got some speed. You don't want this speedy runner on the bags. So Nolan Arnold starts him off with a ball, then comes back with a strike. Now moving to the other side of the plate. Tanaka, a left-handed hitter, and moving to the other side of the plate and working the outside corner still. So Nolan doing a good job so far. 1-1. That ball
just low.
Oh boy, just low. I thought that was going to get the strike call, but boy, we are so much more elevated. So the angle of the play, it's a little bit different to tell the heights of these pitches. We'll trust the umpires here. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch, a little bit too far outside, so 3-1 now to Tanaka. 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th inning, nobody on base. 10-5 your score, Panthers leading the Bedford Bulldogs here on a beautiful day at Holman Stadium. A 10 a.m. start to this game today. And here's that pitch.
Just it looked like a good pitch, but
that is the third walk of the day for Tanaka. So I mean, definitely a player that is going to be very, very picky in terms of the pitches he swings at, but his on-base percentage through the roof.
Yeah, his patience is definitely. He's not going to swing at something he does not like, and he's obviously got a great eye with this third walk of the day.
So now 2 outs. Runner on first base is Tanaka. That brings to the plate number 7, Dean Adams, a big left-handed, powerful hitter. He had a big single in the first inning. He was hit by a pitch in his second at-bat in the second inning, and then lined out to the first baseman Connor Bergeron for Bedford in his third at-bat of the game. So takes a first pitch strike there. And again, a strike. So that I mean, tell you, to these lefties and these righties, Nolan Arnold just continues to live on the outside edge, and I'd love to see him, if he can control that pitch that way, I'd love to see him bust one inside now with all these hitters now starting to look a little outside. And here comes that 0-2 pitch. Tanaka takes off. Ball's outside. Dubois throws it down to second base, but not going to be in time there. Great throw there by Dubois right on the bag. But just Tanaka has too much speed.
Yeah, and he was gone. You know, I'm having flashbacks of watching him take off like that of Ricky Henderson rounding these bases back when he was, I believe, playing for the Nashua Pride. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Wow, they're going way back.
Blazing speed.
Way back. And there's that pitch on the inside edge, but Dubois throws behind him. He's got Tanaka caught in a rundown. Great. And Hinton misses the throw from Crowley, and Tanaka's going to score a run. Wow.
Yeah, you start throwing the ball around like that. What a great play to get it down to Crowley. They got the runner in a jam, and unfortunately, third base just couldn't come up with that ball.
Yeah, so Tanaka, he took a sizable lead after the pitch, and Henry Dubois has a great arm from behind the plate. He threw it behind the runner, Tanaka. Carter Crowley catches it, and the next throw just is going to Hinton, and I'm not sure if Carter just kind of threw it offline. Hinton didn't pick up the ball. Something happened, but that ball gets way away from the play, and I guess it does matter, yeah, because I thought that ball was going to get down. But that will end the inning, but one more run scored here. Tanaka scores another one. It's now 11-5 Nashua South Panthers leading over the Bedford Bulldogs. A tough play there that cost that extra run, but hopefully that doesn't come into play, because hopefully at least for the Bedford listeners, Bedford comes back here and starts putting more runs on the board.
Yeah, those are the little things, fundamentals we all talk about, right? You make a couple of good moves, and if the ball gets away from you, it could lead to trouble, and that's put another run up on the board. I mean, it's too bad to see for our pitching staff, because Nolan was really throwing strikes there and had great command, but you can see what a walk can turn into.
Yeah, those things happen. So we head to the top of the 5th inning here at Holman Stadium. Nashua Panthers lead. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Said you feel, but I'm an actor, so all this stuff ain't real, no. I'm cruising forward beneath the Hollywood signs. I'm gonna be my personal journey to stay so cut so tight. Time you call, I'm gonna make you go. I'm gonna make you go.
And welcome back to historic Holman Stadium here today for today's morning game, Thursday morning school vacation game between the Nashua Panthers and the Bedford Bulldogs. We come back to you here in the top of the 5th inning with the Bulldogs losing currently to the Nashua Panthers 11-5. And coming to the plate, Nate Matson is the pitcher for this Nashua South Panthers team now, and coming to the plate is Jake Oster. And Jake Oster seeing his third at-bat of the game. He popped out to the third baseman in foul territory in his first at-bat, then struck out looking in his second at-bat. And that one is driven on a line to left field, and that's going to be a leadoff single for Jake Oster. Great at-bat, great piece of hitting there, John, and good to see Jake on the field and then making great contact.
Yeah, on the field, in the lineup, he's certainly hitting the ball well from what I've seen this season. I haven't been to all the games, but he's done a nice job and made great contact there.
And that will bring up Henry Dubois, number 11, the catcher for this Bedford team, freshman Henry Dubois. And he's just, he's done well today. He's done well behind the plate. He's got a single in this game, and he had a sac fly. He flew out to right field, but it was a functional out, scoring that run from third base. And he takes a first pitch strike from Matson.
Yeah, good. Watching him lay off the curveball. Now he went for that fastball as he should have. Just got under it. Hits a high foul ball right behind the plate, right in front of us.
Interesting, though, that foul ball, we were talking about the differences in fields. That foul ball at the SAU field is potentially caught by catcher Caleb Rich for Nashua because there's so much more room. But Dubois takes that pitch and lifts it to center field, and that one's going to be settled under by Tanaka. He makes the play, and we have an out in this top of the fifth inning. And that is Henry Dubois on the fly out to center field. So Oster stands at first base, one out here in the top of the fifth. 11-5 your score. Nashua Panthers lead the Bedford Bulldogs here on Nashua ETV and BCTV coverage today. Simulcast coverage between the two organizations. I can't thank them enough for everything that they do. I'm Jason Bergeron here today with John Muir in the booth. And we started the game with Tom King from Nashua, and John Muir has come in. We called in a relief pitcher when Tom had to go to another event. And John Muir in the booth here. That ball gets away. Oster's going to take second.
Yeah, and that looked like there was some confusion there on that pass ball. I think the catcher just lost it, or maybe thought that it bounced somewhere out of play, but was able to track it down and was able to move the runner. But things like these pass balls, you were saying, or pass balls or high pop-ups behind the plate here are so much different than a high pop-up or a foul ball at the SAU field in Bedford, just because of the distance between the home plate and that backstop. It's just it's a lot further to go than it is here, and I believe that's brick down there as well underneath. And I think that ball gets you could get a good hop off of that backstop, and I would think that would work to a catcher's advantage here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely there's lively hops. There's for sure. No matter what, it's hard to tell. I don't remember what's behind there. It might be a pad, but either way, I think it's brick maybe behind that, and there's a lot of bounce either way coming off that backstop. So Carter Crowley now steps to the plate here. He's got a full count. Runner on second base, Jake Oster, after he lined a single to left field, and Carter Crowley goes down on strikes there. Matson does a good job, beats Crowley with a fastball for the second out of the inning, and Matson has done a good job. Once he settled, he came in a tough spot. Bases were loaded, or maybe runners on first and second after 3 or 4 runs had scored in the inning for Bedford at the time, and then he has settled in the last 2 innings, done a really good job here keeping this Bedford attack off balance. And now brings to the plate Dominic Tagliaferro, his 4th at-bat of the day. He has struck out, walked twice. So very similar to Tanaka, the speedy players have definitely done a good job of getting on base. And Jake Oster just stole third base. So
yeah, there was some hesitation there. Everyone saw that coming. He stopped halfway down the base path and was able to thankfully take off, use that speed, and make it into third.
Yeah, it was an odd, awkward slide, but I think I was trying to get around the tag being put on there by Adams, and either way, he's standing at third base, and that ball, good job there by catcher Caleb Rich for this Panthers team, keep that ball from getting away. So a 2-1 count to Dominic Tagliaferro, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. 11-5 your score. Panthers lead the Bulldogs. And Tagliaferro hits a slow roller, and Tagliaferro's speed, he's there safely, easily, and that's going to be an RBI single for Tagliaferro. And not his best struck ball of the day. He hit a ball 330 feet foul today, but that one is the swinging bunt, they call it, and he gets the single RBI.
Yeah, the way that ball, that's I guess one of the drawbacks of having such a nice plush green carpet of grass in the infield is that ball is going to slow down a little bit, and the third baseman really had to charge that ball and make a if he were going to make a play, which with the speed of tags was just not going to happen.
So Aiden O'Connell now steps to the plate, having himself a good day as well. Hit a triple in the first inning, a double in the third inning, popped out to the shortstop in his third at bat, but he sees a first pitch ball, and meanwhile Dominic Tagliaferro on that speed, first pitch Tagliaferro steals, and then Aiden pulls a ball hard right down first baseman Hedquist. He makes the play, touches first base, ends the inning, and we'll head to the bottom of the fifth inning. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs 11-6 here on Nashua ETV and Bedford BC TV. And again, just a good inning that could be, they could, if they strung a few more hits together, John, I think we see a few more runs scored, of course, but unfortunately Bedford just, not be able to get on the board more than that one run. Mattson doing a good job keeping them off balance.
Yeah, the sheer number of hits that Nashua has been able to put on the ball is it's impressive. So Nolan he's come in now. He came in relief. He had a great inning last inning. Unfortunately, the error led to a run, but he's had great command. I think the best of our staff here today so far. So
yeah, he's definitely done a good job as he's come in. And getting to your point, we haven't seen a lot of Nolan this year on the mound, but certainly impressive today, and working the edges of the plate, getting the calls that he needs to get as a pitcher, or that you not need to get, but you want to get as a pitcher, and has just done a good job of keeping this Nashua Panthers attack at bay since coming in. So no more changes. As I look across the field, I don't see any other defensive changes. Coach Chapman's continuing to go with this lineup, and a scheduling note here: the Bedford Bulldogs' next game will be in a couple of hours. We're 3 hours away from first pitch of the next game of the day, a doubleheader, a rare doubleheader for this Bedford Bulldogs and any high school team on the same day. Bedford will be playing this game, finishing up this game, taking a ride over to Londonderry, and they'll take on the Londonderry Lancers. No slouch of a team either, and so they'll play them today at 3:00 in a tough matchup. Nashua, of course, their next game will be tomorrow against Manchester Memorial at 4 p.m. So after this game, they'll take a nice break and be on the field tomorrow. So bottom of the fifth, action coming at you. Nolan Arnold ready to face off against first baseman Isaiah Hedquist, and first pitch is a ball, looked like a breaking ball, just missed outside. So a 1-0 count here early in the bottom of the fifth inning. 11-5, Panthers leading the Bulldogs here at Holman Stadium. Another ball there to Hedquist. So just as we were talking about Nolan Arnold's command, John, maybe a little bit coming out through two off-speed pitches there, maybe trying to keep these batters off balance a bit.
Yeah, second time around, he's probably trying to mix it up a little bit. And there he goes back to painting that outside corner just as we speak.
Maybe again, just second time around, it's what it's all about. 11-6, a score correction there. The Panthers still leading the Bedford Bulldogs, but by a score of 11-6 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And that ball is hit hard on the ground, just eats up second baseman Jake Oster. Not going to be able to collect it and get him in time. So Isaiah Hedquist, again, the Bedford D, usually very, very strong, and that one just hit hard on the ground. And this infield just playing a little bit with these Bedford Bulldogs defenders.
Yeah, it's hard to say what happened there. I think it was just a really hard hit ball that it just got under him just a little bit.
Yeah, kind of came up quickly. Last hop kind of caught him quickly, and now we got a runner on first base, Hedquist, and Nolan Arnold looks into Jake O'Connor, who is just I say that again, another stolen base there. Hedquist steals the bag, first pitch, and Jake O'Connor takes a ball on that pitch, but Jake O'Connor comes into this at bat hitting. He's 2 for 2 on the day in his 3 at bats. He's got 2 singles and one walk. So he comes to the plate for his 4th at bat, looking to maintain his perfect day at the plate.
Yeah, right back. Here we go again. Just like last inning, strong base running by the Nashua team, and now we've got another threat out there at second base.
So Hedquist at second base after the error at second base by Jake Oster, and that ball gets up and comes quickly off, but no throw there from Dubois. So Hedquist takes third on the wild pitch, and so just as I was saying, Hedquist gets to first base on the error by Jake Oster at second base. He steals second, gets to third on a wild pitch, and the count now to Jake O'Connor 3-0, and I'm pretty sure he's taken here. No outs at bottom of the fifth inning, 11-6 your score. And Nolan Arnold throws that strike that we've seen probably 10 times today on that outside edge of the plate so far from Arnold.
Yeah,
and a 3-1 count. Living on the edge. I love it. So Hedquist stands at third. Jake O'Connor at the plate, 3-1 count. He's sitting fastball here, looking to drive a ball, and he does, and that ball is lifted deep to left field. Danny Black chasing it back, and it just hits off the high brick wall at the 307 number in left field, and that just missed by about a foot of being a 2-run home run. Instead, it's a one-run double.
Boy, he got all of that one. I mean, he just... But like you said, 3 feet higher and that thing's gone. I like that short wall out there, 307 to left.
It really does. I mean, 307. That is definitely a short wall. And but again, like that ball just missed. It hit just to the left of the 307 numbers on the wall, and that again sitting on a 3-1 pitch. Jake O'Connor just drove that ball and double a one-run double, and I'm just watching as Caleb Rich, the catcher for this Nashua South team, who's done so much behind the plate, needed ice before that at bat, will need more ice because Nolan Arnold just hit him off the shoulder.
He's been hit with pads on, without pads on. The Rich family is definitely going to need to stock the freezer for Caleb tonight for sure.
So Coach Chapman taking a look down at the bullpen, and it looks like he was just verifying that the pitcher that was warming up is ready to go. He is going to make a change here, and it is left-hander Ryan O'Connor who will be coming into the game now from the bullpen. So Coach Chapman making a lot of changes today. There's a lot of pitchers on this team, and boy, do they need them all. Playing last night against Portsmouth, Aiden O'Connell started that game, and then Steele Lambert came into that game. Bowden Smith came into that game. Now today, you got a game at 10 o'clock, started by Foulis, and unfortunately Foulis got chased early in this game, and then it's been relying, Coach Chapman and Coach Fox have been relying on the rest of the arms. So far, seeing Bowden Smith, Steele Lambert, Nolan Arnold, and now Ryan O'Connor comes to the mound, and will take the mound for this Bedford Bulldogs team.
Yeah, and you have to think that this change is just based on sheer numbers. We're going to need some arms here going into the afternoon. And Nolan, I thought, had great command. He was just painting those corners and getting outs. The couple of base runners that did come around were really through no fault of his own. We had an error. We had another run score on an error, on a throwing error. So I thought he had a really good showing on the mound today, and I'm sure we're just trying to keep the numbers low so that hopefully we can go back to Nolan and either later this afternoon or again real soon.
Yeah, I don't know all of the rules of pitchers. I don't have a pitcher in my household, so I don't have all those rules kind of offhand. And it's pretty rare where you see a situation where you have a doubleheader in a day. But I'm sure there's probably rules of pitching in a day, but I'm not sure if it crosses into multiple games in the same day, or if it's kind of just the day that matters. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Chapman and Coach Fox make the adjustments heading into that Londonderry game. But again, 12-6 here, the score so far. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the fifth inning, and now Ryan O'Connor takes the mound after Nolan Arnold's had that almost home run hit off of him by Jake O'Connor, then was hit by a pitch, or hits Caleb Rich with a pitch, and that brings Nathan Smith, the DH, for this. No, it looks like there's a pinch hitter here. So this is number 8, Aiden Stevens, pinch hitting for Nathan Smith. And Aiden is getting his first at-bat here, facing left-hander Ryan O'Connor for the Bedford Bulldogs. That ball gets away from Henry Dubois, and that's going to move the runners up. The runners on first and second now move to second and third. That is Jake O'Connor and Caleb Rich. Just ball bounced in the dirt. Couldn't tell if it was just short hops here from this angle, but runners on second and third nonetheless. No outs, bottom of the 5th inning. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs 12-6 here at Holman Stadium. O'Connor looks into Dubois to get the sign, and that ball is lifted foul. Hinton's got a long way to run for it, and it just drops just in front of the tarp over there on the third base line.
Yeah, that last pass ball looks like it just skipped in a little bit and got away from Dubois.
Okay, so pass ball there. You said the word. I wasn't sure if it was passed or not, so we'll make that note on the official scorecard, I guess you call it. So 1-2 the count here to Aiden Stevens. Aiden looks like he was subbed in for Nathan Smith here by the South Panthers, and he strikes out looking. That pitch just caught the outer edge of the plate, and we've seen the umpire give that call all day long. These batters need to adjust. That's the first time Aiden Stevens, though, has been to the plate. So, and
you have to believe that these pitchers, as they come off, are telling their teammates, just live on that outside edge, and you're likely going to get that call today.
So that brings to the plate Nicholas Shaw. Making sure now as we get deeper into the game, I have the numbers right, but this is number 1, Nicholas Shaw at the plate. He is walked, flown out to right field, and struck out in his 3 at-bats. Runners on second and third here for the Panthers, threatening again. Oh, that ball bounced well in front, and the runner comes in, and he's going to... Okay, I had him visually. I thought he was out. I thought O'Connor got the slide tag on, the swipe tag on there from Dubois, but the umpire disagreed, and that is going to be another run here for the Nashua South Panthers, giving them their 13th run of the game on that wild pitch by O'Connor.
Yeah, it looks like his foot just slid under the tag, and I think as O'Connor came down, he got him up closer to the knee, and the foot just got under the tag, and that's just the angle I have over here on this side of the booth. I don't know what it looks like over where you are, but I had a pretty good eye on that, and he did look safe.
Definitely an interesting setup here calling the game. You are probably 30 feet to my right in another room.
Yeah.
So, it's for those fans listening into us today, typically we're standing side by side having conversations about these games, and we have the same viewpoint. But at this point, we're a little bit separated, and we're watching the game differently. You might have had a better angle, and obviously the umpire makes the final say, and we don't have any call. So,
right.
Either way, it's 13-6 now, your score here at Holman Stadium. O'Connor facing off now against Nicholas Shaw, and it's now a 3-2 count to Nicholas Shaw, and O'Connor just looking to find any ways to get outs, and I'm sure this Bedford team again just continues to just dig deep and try to find ways to get outs. There comes O'Connor with the payoff pitch. That's fouled off by Shaw. Good fight here shown by Shaw. Again, he's walked, flown out to right, and struck out in this game so far. Senior left fielder for the South Panthers team. O'Connor brings the pitch, 3-2. And that ball gets away from Dubois as well, and the runner from third comes in. Dubois fires it up the first base line, and again, just trying to make a quick play there, but that's going to be another run scored for this Nashua South Panthers. 3 so far in the inning, 14 in the game, and again, I think Tom King said it best when we were here earlier. It's a Thursday morning game. Boy, you're going to see all kinds of different things happen in these games with different pitchers and different things going on with the game. And I think we're definitely seeing a different Bedford Bulldogs team today for sure.
Oh, are we ever?
So Nicholas Shaw gets the walk, and that brings up Hunter Ward. Again, it looks to be Hunter. He reached on error in the first inning, walked in his second at-bat, and then grounded out to the shortstop in his third at-bat of the day. So currently 0 for 2 on the day. Takes 2 strikes. He's quickly down here, 0-2. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning here at Holman Stadium. O'Connor delivers. That ball is way outside. Just looks like a breaking ball that slipped out of his hand, and that's going to move Nicholas Shaw up to second base. 14-6 your score. The Panthers leading the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, the boys just have to settle down a little bit and just go back to fundamentals. At this point, you don't even worry about the base runners. You worry about just getting the ball over the plate, catcher keeping that ball in front of them, and just getting the next out. We've only got one out here. Just go live pitch by pitch.
That ball is driven to left field. Danny Black settling under that, making it look easy out there in left field. So a fly ball to left, and Hunter Ward is out for the second out of the inning here for this Bedford Bulldogs defense. And Ryan O'Connor looking to close out this inning, trying to get away from just no more runs scored, but already 3 in. Again, a crooked number put up on the board by this Nashua South Panthers team. And that's the 9-hitter, senior Hunter Ward, putting a good swing on the ball. I mean, 1 through 9, this squad really hits the ball well.
Absolutely.
So that ball bounces in the dirt and gets away from DuBois, and that will move the runner Nicholas Shaw up from second to third. And again, 2 outs here. That's another ball.
DuBois looking a little frustrated behind the plate here. I think they should maybe have a quick chat at the mound. But there's certainly a number of pitches that are kind of bouncing in there, and I think they're catching DuBois a little bit off guard.
Yeah, it's Henry is a freshman catcher, does a great job blocking the ball, catching the ball, and Ryan O'Connor is a pitcher that throws a lot of off speed, a lot of pitches that move, and especially those pitches that are bouncing in front of the plate with all that movement. Those can be, you're constantly in block mode, right? So that might be something to kind of keep an eye on here as this inning progresses. But now 3-0, the hitter for the South Panthers is Devin Sawyer. He's going to walk before I can even go over what he's done in this game so far. But quickly he's reached twice on error, and he flew out to center field and popped out in foul ground to the first baseman here.
And we've seen in these first and third situations, even in this game, we've tried to throw down and get that runner at second, which has led to another run. So we'll see if we go back to it here. I don't think there's any doubt that the runner will be going, but not on this pitch. But
Devin Sawyer, their leadoff hitter too. So with all that speed, you got to assume that he's got a ton of speed.
Yeah.
With all that speed, you got to expect that he's going to be off at some point. But the lefty on the mound, so keeping him a little bit closer. There he goes. Again, O'Connor picks him off. Bergeron throws it back to second. Then the throw comes home, gets away from DuBois, and no outs score. I'm not sure. You got a player. Yeah, I guess they were just trying to stop that run from scoring there. But so a pick. Just an odd play there. But the run scores. The runner now, Sawyer, stands at second base. The 4th run of the inning scored by this Panthers squad. Now 15-6 the lead.
That was the classic Little League first and third play, right? You get that player on first, get him out there, get him in a pickle, and while the runners, you just hope that leadoff hitter has enough time to stay alive and not get tagged out, so you can get that run across the plate before he is tagged. With 2 outs, was it planned? Who knows? But it certainly worked for the Nashua squad, and now they lead 15-6 here.
So, and Tanaka goes down swinging there. So Tanaka goes down for the 3rd out of the inning, and that closes the books on the 5th inning here. 4 more runs scored, though, for the Panthers, and they lead it 15-6 here at Holman Stadium, heading to the top of the 6th inning for some more action on Nashua ETV. We'll head to a quick break and be back with you right after that. And welcome back here to Holman Stadium for today's NHIAA Division 1 matchup between the Nashua South Panthers and the Bedford Bulldogs here at Holman Stadium. Beautiful weather, 15-6 the score here. Bedford losing to the Nashua South Panthers on this first game of their doubleheader, the Bedford Bulldogs doubleheader. They play again here in just a couple hours at 3 o'clock at Londonderry. And to the plate, Jack Hinton, facing off still against Nate Matson, who came in and has done a really good job here in relief of starter McCoubry. And Jack Hinton hits a hard ball, missed there by first base coach Lauren Fox, not able to make the play, and he's going to sprint out to pick it up before the umpire does. So
yeah, Foxy's got to start laying out for those. I'm just
he's always got to jump in his step, though.
He does.
So Hinton drives the ball to left field. That's going to move the left fielder Shaw back and to his right, but he makes the catch to retire Hinton on the fly ball. So that'll be the first out of the inning. And it looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter here for Danny Black. That hitter is going to be number 17. I believe that's
Jimmy Gilbert.
Jimmy Gilbert. So Gilbert will take the spot in the lineup of Danny Black and get his first attempts here. He is 1 for 1 on the season. This is his second bat of the year. I remember in Dover, he got his first at bat and hit a ball over between second and first base for his first, I believe, his first varsity hit. Younger player here, and he's down quickly 0-2 here to Matson.
One more, kid.
So 1 out here, top of the 6th inning. Matson delivers. He did go, and ball gets away from Caleb Rich, but he's able to make the throw down to first base to retire James Gilbert on 3 quick pitches, and that retires Gilbert in his second at bat and at the varsity levels, first at bat of the day. And 2 outs now quickly for this Nashua South Panthers Matson pitching staff and defense. Brings up Bergeron for Bedford, and Bergeron takes a first pitch strike from Matson. Just all around the plate is Matson. Bergeron today is 1 for 3. And that ball is driven to right field. Maybe gets down. No, it's just going to hang up long enough, and it's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning there for the Nashua South Panthers. And boy, that's not what you were looking for from the Bedford unit here heading into that 6th inning, is it, John?
Yeah, no, that it's certainly not what you expect, but sometimes these balls you're gonna, sometimes they drop and they work your way, and sometimes they don't. Today we're just having a hard time with bats getting runs across the plate, and it looks like coach is gonna change up the lineup a little bit and
yeah, so he's going to make some changes. We saw already Danny Black was pinch hit for by James Gilbert.
Yeah, it looks like Maddox will be pinch hit for Jack Rizzo as well.
Oh, so coming up next
yep.
inning. Yep. So we got James Gilbert will stay in the game, play left field. So he is out there in left field now.
And now Maggie Fox gets put in at catcher.
Maggie Fox at the dish. Yeah. Okay. So she'll be the new battery mate with O'Connor on the mound still. And looks around. If I look around at second base, that looks to be Caden Elmer at second base. So he may be being entered into this game here as well. I believe that's Caden. We don't know until they get up exactly where they're going in the roster, but assuming he's going to be taking the place of Jake Oster in the batting lineup. And I think that's it. Is there Tagliaferro still looks to be in center field? Is that Joe Blaine in right field, John? Can you get a look from your angle?
Let me see here.
Looks like a right-hander. It's definitely not Aiden O'Connell. I believe that might be Joe Blaine.
I believe it is. Looks like 21. Yep, Joe Blaine.
All right, so we got everything situated here on our lineups. Again, don't have the luxury of getting all the lineups brought to us. We have to kind of call it as we see it, and that's how we're seeing it thus far. So Gilbert going in for Danny Black in left field, Joe Blaine going in for Aiden O'Connell in right field, Caden Elmer going into second base for Jake Oster, and Maggie Fox going behind the dish for Henry Dubois. So she'll be taking on the catching duties here with Ryan O'Connor still on the mound. Bottom of the 6th inning, the batters for Nashua South that will be featured in this inning will be the 3-4-5 hitters, Dean Adams, Isaiah Hedquist, and Jake O'Connor, all of which can and have put really good swings on the ball all day long. 15-6 your score. The Panthers lead the Bedford Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the first pitch from O'Connor to Adams is a ball. Again, thank you to the coverage teams here, Nashua ETV, Bedford BCTV, and everybody working the game today. Tim O'Neill, Pete Johnson, Andrew Fenn from BCTV for covering this game. John Muir in the booth with me, Tom King in the booth earlier in the game. It's just been a great day here at Holman Stadium, and I'm sure these boys will remember this game for a long time to come.
Yeah, anytime you give up 15 runs is certainly a memorable outing for sure.
Memorable outing on the offensive side of the ball for the Panthers, and then on the defensive side of the ball for Bedford, memorable in a different way. So 2-1 the count here, and I did say that it was Isaiah Hedquist, but it does look like Nashua making some changes here again. So Logan Fear, who we thought was warming up earlier in the game, is actually getting an at-bat right now in place of Dean Adams. So this is Logan Fear at the plate. He is currently up 3-1 on the count. And that ball is low and inside, and Logan Fear will draw a walk. And
just like that.
So Logan Fear goes in for Dean Adams and draws the walk. Now number 9 Isaiah Hedquist steps to the plate. He is not being substituted for. So first baseman Isaiah Hedquist has walked, struck out, got hit by a pitch, reached on error, and sees a first pitch ball there as well.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, for me, it's just been the Nashua squad on the base paths have just been so aggressive. We'll see if he takes off here this late in the ball game, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Another ball there to Hedquist, so 2-0 the count. No outs here, bottom of the 6th inning. Runner on first is Logan Fear. O'Connor watching him closely, brings the pitch to the plate. Hedquist lifts that one foul and back into the seats here at Holman Stadium. And that ball lands in front of a group of fans. A good for a 10 a.m. game. Definitely a good little draw here.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing as I've watched that ball. Not a bad turnout. It's hard to pull a 10 a.m. Thursday morning baseball game off. Oh, that's coming right to me.
That's coming. Can you make that catch?
Almost, just to the right.
That was right at you. Again, a little different setup here at Holman Stadium. I'm, right behind home plate, but my color support, John Muir, is about 20 feet, 30 feet to my right in a different room, the way that the setup is. And it's just, great vantage point to call a game. And, but it's a little bit different when you're not side by side.
It is. And it's easy to get caught kind of daydreaming in this park. It's such a beautiful place that I'm over here by myself, over in this room. And there's a good bobblehead collections here. We've got a Tom King bobblehead. I've got Kendall Reyes bobblehead. Who else do I have here? Ryan Sullivan bobblehead. So, there's all kinds of things to pull you off your game in this broadcast area. For me, I have a hard enough time paying attention, and on a game like this, you're looking for things really to look at. to look at and call out.
So, I mean, in a historic park like this, there's no doubt that there's so much history, and some of those bobbleheads are part of that history, right? And with the Nashua Pride, as you mentioned earlier, the Silver Knights that play here, there's just so much history. And I remember as a kid coming down here and watching the Pride play games. So just a fun park to be in, fun park for these players to play in. And right now, runners on first and second for the Nashua South Panthers, both by way of walk. O'Connor struggling to find the plate a little bit, and that is a third ball to the hitter Jake O'Connor, not the new hitter, but the next hitter in this inning. He has seen 3 straight balls from O'Connor. Maggie Fox takes a second to
good job by Maggie
there and just settle him.
Yeah, just have a quick conversation, settle him a little bit, quick reset. You can see a deep breath out there on the mound, and now we're back.
15-6 your score here. Panthers leading the Bulldogs, bottom of the 6th inning, and that is going to be below. Wow, okay. That looked like I caught enough of the plate.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the third walk of the inning issued by O'Connor, and that loads the bases with no outs. And there's a little bit of some riled up play or some yelling from the Nashua bench, and that alerted me to the fact that there's a pinch hitter coming to the plate. So number 17, Ryan Arnenson, is coming up. So he is going to be hitting for catcher Caleb Rich. has done such a good job behind the plate for the South Panthers today, and got hit by a pitch. I mean, we were talking about him earlier needing some ice.
Yeah, no doubt there. With bases loaded, we've seen a couple of good pitches from O'Connor, but it's just been a little inconsistent. So he's not quite getting those same, painting the black corners of the plate calls that we've seen for most of the game here. So
yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's in that one bounced in front of the plate, and he's an off-speed pitcher. He's going to catch some that are going to bounce in front and spike some of those throws. But right now, just struggling to find the ball. Strike zone. And that one's going to get through that shortstop. The drawn-in infield there for Bedford Bulldogs defense, and that's going to be a walk-off single, RBI single for Ryan Arnson on the pinch hit side of the game, and that's going to make it a 10-run rule game. That's a walk-off single for the Nashua Panthers. So the end of the game, we reached the end of the game here at Holman Stadium. Nashua Panthers beat the Bedford Bulldogs 16-6 in a 10 a.m. start here today. Want to thank Nashua ETV for their coverage today. BCTV as well, simulcasting this game from the home booth. And I am Jason Bergeron. Started the game off with color commentary by Tom King. Also joined in the booth today by John Muir. And I want to thank Tim O'Neill, Pete Johnson, and Andrew Fenn for today's coverage as well. What a great game. Again, a historic field to call a game at, to watch a game at. Not the outcome, if you're a Bedford fan, not the outcome we were looking for. But for the Nashua South, they now move to 3-3 on the year. Bedford moves to 3-4. And Bedford doesn't have much time to think about it because they're going to be driving over to Londonderry and playing another NHIAA game today at 3 o'clock. But Nashua will head into tomorrow to play the Manchester Memorial team at 4 o'clock. And
Jason, you've done such a great job of thanking everybody. I want to make sure that I thank you for the excellent job that you do and the time that you dedicate to doing this. It's a lot of fun, and I know you love it. You're great at it, and I'm glad you had me. So thank you for all you do, and thanks to the team up here. Really nice to meet everyone, and what a great opportunity this was. Unfortunately, the game not so much if you're a Bedford fan, but if you're a Nashua fan, that's a great win. That's a good team over there.
And that'll do it. Thank you, John, again, and that'll do it here from Holman Stadium. We'll see you next time here on Nashua ETV and BCTV.
They're playing us out, Jay.